Race Parker Kligerman. The roller showed some maturity. And I forget about nuts and bolts and technology. I just saw him on pit road. He looks relaxed. He looks ready. He looks ready for the moment. That makes him more dangerous.
And I find it compelling that guys who finish second and third are below the cut line coming into this race from the spring race in Martinsville. Also, Jesse Love starting up front today. Could be a very interesting evening here in Martinsville. Time for today's pre-race ceremonies from Martinsville, Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Bedford Army Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome Motor Racing Outreach President and Senior Chaplain, Billy Malden.
Let's pray. Gracious God and Heavenly Father, as we rise up today on this beautiful day, Lord, we thank you for your creation and the opportunity to enjoy it. Father, we just pray for these drivers and the teams and officials today, Lord. We just ask you to watch over everybody and give them a safe day of racing. Lord, for the fans that are here today and watching my television, I pray that this event would create great memories, both now and forevermore. Father, as always, remember the men and women of our armed forces and first responders that are protecting the freedoms that we enjoy today. Be with them, be with their families, keep all of them safe. And Father, as always, may your peace and may your presence surround us all. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from Vinton, Virginia, William Byrd High School student, Jocelyn Augustine.
Oh, say, can you see the dawn's early lights? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose by stripes and bright stars through the last fights, o'er the ranks we watch, were so gallantly streamed, and look its red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, o'er the home of the
This time to decide the championship for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. When we come back, we'll get the engines fired at Martinsville. Green flag coming up.
I knew.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's live commentary coverage of the National Debt Relief 250 at the Martinsville Speedway for the Round of 8 elimination race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 4 drivers will vouch for a championship next weekend at Phoenix. 2 of those drivers we already know based off of wins in the first 2 races of this very round. Last week, Austin Hill at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and the week before that at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, AJ Allmendinger went to victory lane as well. So 6 drivers going for the final 2 spots, at least one of which will be locked in on points. If you win this race today, obviously you are locked into the next round as well. As we get into that, here is a look at those point standings as of right now. Again, Hill, Allmendinger, top 2 are locked in. Allgaier plus 35 points above the cut line, and Cole Custer plus 28. Although the points might look good for right now for those 2 drivers, all it takes is one driver below that cut line to win. Then it's just that 7-point battle between Allgaier and Custer coming into this race for the final spot if a Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, or Sammy Smith were to win. Now, if Custer or Justin Allgaier get into early trouble, don't get a lot of points in today's race, then those points could be obtained by Chandler Smith, who is minus 28 points, minus 35 for Jesse Love, and Sam Mayer minus 47. Mathematically speaking, Sammy Smith has to win this race today. He is too far back on points to win, and more than likely for Jesse Love and Sam Mayer, that will likely be the case as well. We'll see how these first 2 stages play out, obviously, and then we'll know by the time the final stage starts exactly what we're looking at as far as how many points they will need or positions they will need over a Custer or an Allgaier to make it in if they were to qualify on points. But definitely going to be tough to do it points-wise for those four. I would imagine those four would stay the same, but we almost saw an upset winner in the truck race last night. Taylor Gray on fresher tires, a late strategy, almost allowed him to win. He got to the lead with about 5 laps to go, got bumped out of the way immediately by Christian Eckes, who ended up going on to win the race. That kept Ty Majeski in the championship four, who would have been on the bubble looking on the outside if Gray were to have won. So it could happen. We almost saw it yesterday. We've seen it in the Cup Series the last couple weeks, and really even in the Xfinity Series. AJ Allmendinger, who was the 8th seed coming in, or the 7th seed, excuse me, coming into this round of the playoffs, did advance through the first race. He was the last driver in based off of the Roval. So you just never know how this is going to play out. Parker Retzlaff on the pole for the second time in his NASCAR Xfinity Series earlier this season in the spring. So he is out in front. Anthony Alfredo also a front row starting spot for him, as he will be starting in second place tonight. Rest of the starting lineup as follows. In row 2 will be Chandler Smith and Jesse Love. Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill make up row 3. Row 4 for Sammy Smith and Sheldon Creed. Rounding out the top 10 in row 5 are Spring Martinsville winner Eric Almirola and Cole Custer. AJ Allmendinger and Sam Mayer will line up in row 6. Row 7, Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones. William Sawalich in the 19 today, as he will be running that car full-time next season. Matt DiBenedetto also starting in row 8. Row 9 will be the return of Bubba Pollard in the 26. He drove for Junior Motorsports earlier this season and now is going to be driving the 17 for Sam Hunt Racing here this afternoon into the night. Parker Kligerman also starting in row 9. In row 10 will be Brennan Poole and Shane Van Gisbergen. Jeb Burton, Myatt Snyder in row number 11. Good to see Snyder back at the track this weekend. Josh Williams, Blaine Perkins make up row 12. Behind them in row 13, Leland Honeyman and Ryan Ellis. Kyle Sieg, Dawson Cram in row 14. Jeremy Clements, Garrett Smithley in row 15. Dylan Lupton, Preston Pardis in row 16. Row 17 will be Carson Ware and Logan Bearden. Row 18, Patrick Emmerly and Mason Maggio. Rounding out the field in row 19 will be Greg Van Als and Ryan Sieg. 38 cars in the field for today's Xfinity Series race. Again, the National Debt Relief 250. Defending winner of this full Martinsville race, Justin Allgaier, excuse me. Choking on my saliva there. So Eric Almirola, winner of the spring race earlier this season. I think he's going to be one to look out for. He is one of the voting options in the chat poll for who you think is going to win the race. As usual, that poll will stay open until the end of stage 2. 14 votes have been casted in the early going of the stream. Chandler Smith leading the way at 36%. 36% also for other than those 3 that are listed in the chat poll. 21% saying Eric Almirola. Only 7% as of right now have Cole Custer. I'm taking Eric Almirola for the sweep here today. Predicted the race winner from the poll yesterday. Getting the Martinsville sweep, Christian Eckes. I'll say the same here for this Xfinity Series race as well. Give me Eric Almirola.
National Debt Relief Chief Compliance and Consumer Affairs Officer, Natalia Brown.
On behalf of National Debt Relief, John!
Ready?
Time to set the championship for who gets to race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series title. Find out when we come back on CW Sports.
Definitely going to be a fun one here today. A quick one at that. 250 laps of this racetrack is not a long time. For a long time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule, into the early Busch days and obviously through to the Nationwide Series at the time, sponsored what is now the Xfinity Series, we didn't see any races at Martinsville Speedway for a long time. And then we had just one in the middle of the year, and then that went away and we were back to none. And here we are now with 2 dates on the Xfinity Series schedule here at the Martinsville Speedway instead of just 1 or none. So this is going to be a lot of fun to see how this plays out. Again, I do think some of your heavy favorites in this one going to be from JGR. They have definitely had some very fast cars in the Xfinity Series the last couple years at this track. Again, Almirola winning in the spring. He Think back to Ty Gibbs, Brandon Jones at JGR a couple years ago in 2022, battling for the race win late in this very race. And even last year, it was actually RCR, Austin Hill, and at the time Sheldon Creed on the last couple laps of the race, that final overtime battling for the lead. So RCR had some strong performances. Obviously with Austin Hill already in the championship 4, now it's going to be on Jesse Love to try to get that win today to get him in. And if that is the case, RCR will have a 50% chance of winning the championship next weekend. Shout outs to those of you watching in the chat: Frank Powers, JoJo, Michael Turner, Ty, and Jackson Robinson. You guys are the first in the chat below. Appreciate you tuning in. Ticker at the bottom of the screen scrolling some of the top statistical leaders in the NASCAR Xfinity Series solely this season. I did not include the Cup regulars that have ran Xfinity races this year. Only drivers that are running Xfinity Series points, or eligible at least for Xfinity Series points, as well as the playoff standings entering the race here today as well. And that will be scrolling across the bottom of the screen throughout the entirety of this one here tonight. Race starting in the daylight hours. It will be finishing in the nighttime sky, as we have seen the last couple of years with a similar start time for this Xfinity race at Martinsville. Tomorrow may be the same way, considering that the daylight savings will be getting darker an hour earlier. Though that race starting a little earlier as well tomorrow, just after 2 p.m. Eastern for the Cup Series. Ended up seeing a closer finish last night than what we were originally expecting, despite the domination out of the gate by Christian Eckes. He led 188 of the 200 laps, but still had some late charges by Ben Rhodes and Taylor Gray on fresher tires late. We'll see if we get an interesting caution at a similar time frame. Slightly warmer day, obviously, during the daytime than what we saw even during the daytime yesterday in practice and qualifying for the Xfinity side. It's the first that they have hit the racetrack this afternoon. Wonder why they have the grandstands closed off in turns 3 and 4 today, in particular. Front stretch, turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4 is empty. I feel like you could sell more tickets total if you had it like wide open, because usually the cheaper seats are in the turns. You know, tomorrow's 500 lap race. Spring race 400 laps, but the fall race has still been 500.
Years in the Xfinity Series now. His job, to take a 35-pound jack, sell it through an 8-inch wide opening to an 1.1 bolt, lifting a 3,700-pound race car. That won't be too bad, right? But if he does it for Sam Mayer precision-wise all race long, Sam Mayer can do what he needs to do, which is win to advance. Tim Coos?
Well, tucked behind pit road is the Martinsville hot dog stand. This dog is a rite of passage here. They sell 70,000 over the course of a race weekend, but you got to get it with the works. That's onions, slaw, chili, mustard. It takes all those ingredients to make the perfect dog. It also takes multiple ingredients to win a race here. What is that? Well, a fast race car, a good day on pit road, and an aggressive driver. Guys, prepare yourself. It's likely to get messy. That's the dog, as well as some playoff chaos we're going to see here this afternoon.
Well, from Martinsville dogs to grandfather clocks as trophies, to the fact that this track has more NASCAR history than any other. And the kids racing today can make their own history by taking the next step toward that championship. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series playoff from Martinsville Speedway, the National Debt Relief 250. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the booth alongside the Mayor, Jeff Burton, our crew chief, Steve Letarte, Rick Allen with you. And we have heard about this race. The last opportunity for these drivers to lock themselves into the championship four. What are we expecting, Jeff?
Well, I expect to see a lot of aggressive driving. I expect to see as that day changes, teams and drivers making adjustments. Like, what do they need to make happen? Do I need to gamble? Am I safe? Can I take it easy? I think situational awareness is going to be really important, but every single one of them has to be aggressive at the start of this race.
All right, Steve, Marty mentioned it. The last two cut races here at Martinsville have had teammates wrecking each other coming to the checkered flag. Are we going to see that again?
Well, you heard Kim say it's going to be messy. Well, you know what else? It's also going to cause some damage. Some damage to the race cars, some damage to some feelings, and some damage to some relationships. Because people that come into this racetrack as friends sometimes can leave as enemies, and that's because it is all on the line. You've taken a track when it encourages pushing and shoving, and now put it on a spot on the schedule where you have to go back and look your team in the face if you didn't do what was required to win.
All right, the cars are rolling around the racetrack. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, and I want to give you a basketball analogy here. Up front, we have Parker Retzlaff and Anthony Alfredo. When you watch March Madness and you see a 16 team going up against a 1 seed, that is what Parker Retzlaff and Anthony Alfredo are up against right now. They are little teams that have outperformed in qualifying and have a shot at upsetting the Giants.
It's like Syracuse beat Virginia Tech in overtime. It's just a great storyline in sports. You see Swalich, the youngster in row 8, going to the back. Parker Clickerman also going to the back. Great issues for Parker. Brian Snyder in the 91. We don't get to see Mine a lot. This is a track where he has found success. Excited to have him in the field.
Continuing all the way through the field, Ryan Sieg had issues yesterday during qualifying with the brakes, so that is why he didn't even qualify. Will start at the rear of this field, and now the car's making their way onto pit road to check the speed. And let's listen in to Sammy Smith's radio, a little pep talk before the start.
All right, man, every lap is your lap. We believe in you. Take no prisoners. We'll be here at the end.
It's going to be a dogfight today. Let's stay in at all 250, execute, and put ourselves in position at the end.
All right, a dogfight. Well, it's 250 laps.
A hot dog
That's
fight.
This is a very fast race.
I'm going to give you a little hint. Everyone's going to try to put themselves in position at the end, and that's really the key. Jeff, it is a battle at times, right? Your patience can be tested. You can be frustrated with the driver in front of you if you're a little faster. We will see chaos at the end, but those are the ones I think you have to avoid as a driver throughout the way, the ones that aren't necessary.
You have to think your way through this race, Steve. 250 laps is short, but this is a thinking man's race. You have to do everything possible to put yourself in position late in the race. You're not going to do that by just knocking everybody out of the way and getting to lap 250.
Okay, we will talk points a lot today because at least one driver for sure is going to get in based on points. And Allgaier and Custer, they've got an advantage. They're coming into this final cut race with a huge point lead over Chandler Smith. But anybody below that red line wins. They can eliminate one of the two that are already above the red line, either Allgaier or Custer. So points are going to be important all day long. Parker.
All right, here we go. Pace cars on pit road. Parker Retzlaff going to lead the field of the green at the Martinsville Speedway here today. November, Saturday afternoon, NASCAR racing, green flag in the air. 250 laps at the paperclip. Retzlaff with the lead off of turn 2. Clear the car on the outside. Anthony Alfredo slides the rear tires, and that allows for Chandler Smith to get underneath him for second. 3 wide back around Eric Alvarola, shoving underneath the 8 of Sammy Smith, as well as the 21 of Austin Hill. Smith had to get out of the gas to make the corner exit, loses several more positions to the 16 and the 18. Gets back down into the bottom lane, though, just in front of the 98 of Herbst. Custer to the outside of Herbst as well, both the SHR Ford starting a little bit further back in the top 10. Single file now, the top 6 or 7 cars in the field. Closest side-by-side battle would be around Sheldon Creed and AJ Allmendinger. Big block by Jesse Love, bottom of the racetrack, trying to stay in the bottom lane. Almirola raced him pretty cleanly through the center of 1 and 2, despite the fact Austin Hill almost got underneath the 20 as well. Hill puts a bumper to the back of the 20 a couple times through the center of 3 and 4, using him up, and we're already seeing a lot of aggression. We're only on lap 4. First 3 laps completed, led by Retzlaff. He's got a half a second advantage over Chandler Smith in P2. Justin Allgaier got to third at 1.3 seconds off the lead, and Alfredo, who started in second, is back to fourth, a second and a half back. Allmendinger and Creed have been side by side since the initial lap of this race. Shaded areas of the track down in turns 1 and 2, full sun in 3 and 4. The shaded part in 1 and 2 is more in the first half of the corner, second half off of turn 2 in the sun. Obviously, we'll see again complete darkness by the end of this one here today, into the evening hours. And as those track temps start to fall into the nighttime sky here as well, who can keep up with the changing track conditions the most? Drivers who we see up towards the front right now may not be the ones that are going to be up there at the finish. Said the same thing for Homestead last week in a similar circumstance. The difference is Austin Hill won every stage of last week's race, so we'll see what this one will bring here today. Sammy Smith, Riley Herbst battling side by side for 11th on track. Not in a position to get any stage points, but again, Smith is in a must-win situation anyway, and Herbst already eliminated from the playoffs from the round of 12. Points as they run in the early going, Custer +4 over Chandler Smith in second. But remember, Custer's only in 10th, Chandler Smith in second, and that would be assuming that those drivers would finish exactly where they are running right now for stage 1, 2, and 3. So that could change. Our stage splits today will be 60 laps in stages 1 and 2, 130 laps in stage 3. Oddly enough, that stage 3 length is the same distance that we'll have in stages 1 and 2 in the Cup race tomorrow. Almirola back to the inside of the 2, and Jesse Love breaking free a bit from Austin Hill after Hill was just banging on that back bumper in the opening laps. Definitely tell Love has held up a whole line of cars behind him. Almirola going to get through for 5th. Big gap between the 4th and 5th place cars on track, almost 2 seconds now. We'll see if Almirola can start to close on those cars ahead of him. 4 positions gained for Eric since the start. Qualified in 9th today. And Chandler Smith is quickly closing on the race leader, Parker Retzlaff. Retzlaff will lead lap 11 at the line this time by. Chandler Smith rolling a slightly different line. Entering turns 3 and 4 just a little bit wider, getting the cut in the center, but in a straighter drive off. I've got a 1.5 seconds lead over Allgaier in 3rd right now. 3 wide. Herbst, Allmendinger, Custer. A lot of damage on the 16, and he's going to hit the wall. I think he had a tire down. Either that or he just locked it up and overdrove it. Caution flag is out. Big damage on the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. Right front, all sorts of tore up. Ooh.
Well, Custer pushing the 16 up the racetrack and then coming back down into this turn. Allmendinger fighting to get back inside.
Yeah, AJ definitely had the tires turned to the left well early into the corner. It was not turning. Not sure if there was maybe contact that cut one of his right side tires down before making the corner, or if he just completely blew it. Was trading paint, though, back and forth, lap over lap, corner over corner on Cole Custer. Again, we have seen a lot of beating and banging here in the opening portion of this race. Retzlaff still the race leader as he stays out in front of the field, leading these first 15 laps to the caution. Yellow flag waved at lap 13 initially there, right as we were about to get that battle for the lead going. And AJ was running in the 10th place position at the time of the incident. Again, it's a good thing he got that win at Vegas in the first race of the round. Finished 10th at Homestead a week ago as well. Villanor, thanks for tuning in as well. Raw feed is working great to see. It usually is for the Xfinity and truck races on time. The Cup Series, it's hit or miss on whether it's working at the start of the stream or not. But yeah, definitely good to see. I doubt we'll be seeing pit stops this early in the race. Fuel window around 160 or so laps. Likely not going to see anybody try to go a full fuel window. Closest we'll get to that is them pitting during the stage 2 break or close to it. If we get a late caution in stage 2, the window would be open to make it to the end. But if we get a long enough green flag run in the third and final stage, then you'll see more pit stops under a late caution situation like we did last night in the truck race. Wonder how much damage the double zero of Custer might have after beating and banging with AJ. Those couple corners. Got to take care of your car this early in the race, especially if you're Allgaier or Custer being as high above the cut line on points as you are. Don't want to blow it this early in the race. Cut a tire because of damage, like it appears we had seen from the 16. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. Our goal is to get to 100 likes on today's race. We hit our like goal for the practice qualifying stream a little bit ago. That wrapped up at about 3:22-ish Eastern time. A little over an hour from where we are now. Less than 10 minutes into this Xfinity Series race thus far. Nobody was a lap down yet, so no free pass to give. And Allmendinger, more than likely, is done for the day. Carson Ware pulled off track after 3 laps in the garage as well.
This team moves to Wednesday for a special one night only. It's an historic event at the iconic 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Don't miss the next team to the Spectacle Night. 8-7 right here on the TW.
AJ Allmendinger on pit road with damage. Cole Custer and AJ very aggressive. Cole had moved AJ out of the way. AJ returned the favor. Contact right there. That's where the right front damage comes. That's where the right front is cut. Gets in the corner to corner turn. Contact.
And so,
all right, so it was a right front tire failure then for the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. Green flag is now back in the air here at the Martinsville Speedway. Working their way off of turn 2. Chandler Smith on the outside lane is going to take the race lead away from Parker Retzlaff. 3 wide for 5th going into the corner. Almirola underneath Alfredo in Love. And Almirola clear. Alfredo still 3 wide middle. Creed to the outside and Austin Hill to the bottom. Not the place you want to be if you're Anthony Alfredo or Sheldon Creed for that matter. He's trying to fight to get down into the bottom lane of the racetrack again. Definitely is not easy running mid-pack at this racetrack. Alfredo now nearly outside 3 wide. Creed just can't get out from underneath the 5. He gets into the back of him pretty heavily, entering 3 and 4. Leans on him a bit as well. These guys have been 3 wide with a rotation of cars to the bottom for the last couple laps. The first 2 or 3 since the restart. Finally have it somewhat sorted out now. Alfredo gets to the bottom. Creed's got room to get underneath him, but chooses not to. He's going to go to the outside to try to pass the 5. Slipped up in the center of 1 and 2, and he can't stay there. So now with Chandler Smith leading the points differential 22 between Allgaier in 3rd and Cole Custer, who's in 8th, based on where they're running right now. Chandler Smith came in first driver out, minus 28 points entering the day. He took the race lead away on the restart initially from Retzlaff. Retzlaff led the first 17 laps from the pole, and Chandler Smith now has led the first 7 since the green flag on this restart. 0.6 of a second lead for Chandler Smith over Parker Retzlaff in 2nd. Justin Allgaier in 3rd, 1 second off the lead. 4th is Eric Almirola, 1.3 seconds back. Jesse Love, 2.5 seconds off the lead in 5th. As the top 5, the interval between those drivers and the race leader. Lap 25 of 60 here in stage 1. Parker Kligerman now 3 wide under Josh Williams and Ryan Sieg. Sieg in the 28 car again this weekend. 3rd straight week that has been the case. A lot of contact there between the 11 and the 48. Not Retzlaff, excuse me, Kligerman, the other Parker, started deep in the field. Almirola quickly closing on the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Definitely looks quicker than him. Will look to the inside to make the pass for 3rd. Allgaier going to try to hold on to the spot as long as he can. The 20 put the bumper to the back of the 7 through the center of 3 and 4. And now to the inside is the 20 on corner entry into turns 1 and 2. Tight around the curbing, might have been hooking it a little bit. And that hurt his drive off of turn 2. Allgaier holds clear through 3 and 4. Seen a lot of drivers using the bumper already. Despite how quick the 20 car is, he's got the bumper put to him already, so I don't imagine he's going to waste too much time sitting behind the 7. And if you're Justin Allgaier having the giant points cushion over Cole Custer, you just have to have a smart day today. Almirola tends to be a clean racer, I will say, for the most part, through his Cup Series career, so I don't think he's going to do anything egregious here. Finally works his way underneath the 7 off turn 4, stays through the center of 1 and 2 and off the exit on the inside. Side drafts the 7 of Allgaier a bit down the back straightaway. Just can't get the drive off in that bottom lane compared to the 7 on the top. And again, Allgaier holds clear. Allgaier definitely holding Almirola back. Now that 20 car is racing for the Owners' Championship still too. So if if Almirola were to win today, then the 20 team could get into the championship 4 for the Owners' standings. And that's why we've seen Almirola in that 20 car specifically the last several weeks. Of course, a lot of the Cup Series regulars can't drive in the playoffs for the other series, Truck or Xfinity. So a Gibbs or a Nemechek that has ran that car, Christopher Bell, that's one in that car this year, can't race it. Almirola is able to, and he was a part of one of those wins in the regular season. 2 of them, in fact. Eric Almirola, and again, one of them was right here. Cole Custer, by the way, has since moved up to 7th on the restart, getting by Riley Herbst. Herbst stuck on the outside. Sam Mayer looking to get by for 8th as well. Almirola going to drive a little bit off the curbing on the bottom of the track. And here's A.J. Allmendinger outside the infield care center.
We just played some radio from Paul Pester. You took your 7th now. What's your thought on that?
Can't wait to get to Phoenix.
Well, I know you wanted to build some momentum in this race, AJ, being out this early. How do you go into the mindset next week?
We're going to go win a championship. That's the mindset, so it's all good.
AJ Allmendinger did had comments and Custer too much, and he said, yes, it was indeed the contact from the 00 that took him out.
See the Goodyear lettering ripped off of the left rear tire, that 00 of Cole Custer as well, following that contact. 25 laps to go in stage 1. Full screen commercial break on the CW for this NASCAR Xfinity Series race in Martinsville. Actually, never mind. Side-by-side commercial break. NASCAR nonstop, if you will. Top 5, Chandler Smith in the lead. Parker Retzlaff 2nd. Justin Allgaier 3rd. Eric Almirola 4th. And 5th is Jesse Love still. 7 of Allgaier still holding up the 20 of Eric Almirola for now. Almirola again to the inside. Oh boy, little contact there. If any at all. Exit of the corner. Off turn 4. Caution is out on the speedway. 91 cars around. No indication on the CW's leaderboard that the caution's out, but everybody is slow. And caution has been out on our leaderboard as well, so. Definitely contact that sent the 91 car around there. Off the front bumper of Ryan Sieg, they would have been battling for about 18th. Myatt Snyder driving the 91 car this weekend for Mario Gosling's race team. May see our first pit stops of the day. We'll definitely see some cars pit. I'm not sure exactly how many when pit road does open. Wonder if rubber will be an issue like Hamlin had earlier. Not for the Xfinity race, at least. These cars are just different. Hopefully, we don't see that issue with the Cup race tomorrow. On those longer green flag runs that we may end up seeing. Especially with it being a freak accident. Like it was. Good news for Hamlin, it was in practice and not the race, so still has a chance to go out and race his way into the next round of the playoffs tomorrow. Chandler Smith going to pit from the lead, but not everybody in the top 10 is coming down. Split strategies here in stage 1.
Join us at Toyota Racing. News Nation Films presents Reagan like you've never seen before. Together, we can embark on this run for history and change the world. Tear down this wall. Reagan, Portrait of a Presidency. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series on the CW is presented by Universal Orlando Resort. Enter now for a chance to win a trip to Universal Orlando, plus an all-access NASCAR experience in Daytona.
Pit stops underway at Martinsville. 21 to go here in stage 1. Chandler Smith said he's just a little bit too free on corner exit. That's his biggest issue. Jesse Love will pick up a couple of spots here on pit road. He too said his car was just a little bit free. As the race off progressive pit road, Chandler Smith comes in with the lead. He will leave with the lead as well.
Well, the reason for the caution, we saw the 91 under nonstop get turned around. Potentially, maybe some contact from the 28 of Ryan C. Let's look again.
See, just drives really deep into the corner. Just gets in the left rear quarter panel by it. See coming from the back, being pretty aggressive right there.
Wyatt Snyder making his third start of the 2024 season. Xfinity Series.
Chandler Smith was the first off pit road, but you for sure won't have the lead because 9 other drivers stayed on the racetrack. So I like what the 81's doing here. So there he is, 20 laps to go on the stage. We're going to pit now, stay out at the end of the stage, probably go all the way to the end of stage 2. They're calling the race like it's a must-win because that's what they feel it is. The other drivers that have stayed out, no surprise, Cole Custer, he's sitting there in second. He's looking for some stage points. Sam Mayer, interesting as well. He came in well below the cut line. He stayed on the racetrack in second. So split strategies for the playoff drivers. It'll be interesting to see how quick this 81 can use the new tires to get through traffic.
Well, the second car pitted as well. And if we get a new winner, then he and the 00, they are in a point battle between those two. So let's see how they net out. Let's see if the 7 can drive up and get some stage points here.
From race leader Chandler Smith from this Toyota onboard camera.
Austin Hill locked in to the championship 4, so this should be stress-free, but you still want to have a good day. Tight pit road, you see right there, the 92 in front. Dawson Cram did all he could do in his pit box, just not a lot of space. 21 had to back up. Not even made a little contact with the 5 right there, so some spots lost for the 21.
I feel like Dawson Cram was up in his pit box, so the 21 just has to stop shorter.
Jim, what about Sammy Smith?
Yeah, Sammy Smith on pit road, still looking for a lot more out of his race car. He said there's no grip. It's kind of slimy. Loose was the major condition. He also had a little bit of a brake fade. They took 4 fresh Goodyear tires as well as fuel. Small adjustment there on Sammy Smith's machine, Dave.
Justin Allgaier said his car was loose on exit, not good on the bottom, so they made a wedge adjustment to balance the car back out. And he said, I almost didn't make it to pit road. You called it so late. The command was, if the 81 pits, you pit also. Justin barely made it to pit road legally.
So now differing strategies between the 00 and the 7, which makes it interesting because those two are fighting for points. We do know that one of those two are guaranteed, well, I should say guaranteed, but one of those two are more than likely going to be in the championship 4 based on points. In the air. Parker Retzlaff on the inside, trying to hang on to that lead. But once again, he will lose it on the restart. This time it's the 00 of Cole Custer who takes the point.
Look at the 7 of Allgaier on the outside of 3 wide.
At bottom right, that's Chandler Smith and Allgaier side by side. The first two cars on newer tires.
It'll be interesting to see how the 7 car can work this out. Because he is stuck behind a car with much older tires. Oh, that was the break he needed.
Leland Honeyman thought he was doing the 7 of solid, and he pulled down in front of the 81. He's thinking, man, let's do that too.
And now Allgaier will try to pick off a few more in front of him as Allgaier is up inside the top 10. So Cole Custer leading, Allgaier running 9th right now. Retzlaff has already led 20 laps in this race. We talked about that underdog status for Retzlaff and how he was going to do.
CG in that 97 car. All over the rear bumper of the 31.
Caution out once again. This time it's Leland Honeyman, 42. I wonder if somebody wasn't happy about the way he came down in front of them.
It's not the caution Cole Custer wanted to see. He wanted to see this thing run out, win that stage.
So now Cole Custer had a 1 second advantage. That's gone. Take another look at what happened to Honeyman.
Oh. That's tough. The 42 drives in there like they're going to be too wide. Blaine Perkins of the 29 drives in like he's in the middle. I really put that on Blaine. I think barely inside the 42.
3 cautions already at Martinsville.
Caution-filled Xfinity Series race thus far here at the Martinsville Speedway. Cole Custer is currently your race leader. A little bit of cycling with the pit strategy. Some of the leaders staying out, most of them pitting during that second caution of the race from the Myatt Snyder spin. Now Leland Honeyman with the spin off the front bumper of the 29 car of Blaine Perkins, just inside the top 15 where that incident transpired. Early laps of the race. Three cautions in the first 47 laps. Stage end at lap 60 for this first stage. By the time we restart, we'll have less than 10 laps to go. We've seen caution-filled races in the past for the truck and Xfinity races, although the truck race last night in just a 200-lap race, only 50 laps less than this one today, had just 6 cautions. 3 of them in the final 40 laps of the race, but those were the only ones in Stage 3, which was 100 laps in length. Didn't get too out of hand, I didn't think. Hopefully this race doesn't get out of hand. So Eric Almirola is the highest running of those that have hit pit road. Only the top 5 cars on the leaderboard did not hit the pits yet in this race, that being Custer, Retzlaff, Van Gisbergen, Mayer, and Williams. Last one, Bond 1771. I see in the chat as well. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I had to feed the dog a little early. I am going to have to take it outside at some point soon as well. I'll try to wait until the end of stage 1. Unless she starts barking. No, we don't want to hear that on the stream. It wasn't her feeding time yet, but I wasn't going to allow... She was just going to sit there and start whining if she didn't get fed, so... For the sake of saving the audio on the stream, I had to take one for the team. So again, under caution with 9 laps to go in stage 1. By the time we get this restart in, I would imagine we'll probably have about at least 7 to go. Let's see if they're doubled up this time. I don't know if they got the 1 to go signal or not quite yet. I believe they did. Yep. So Cole Custer inside row 1 for the restart. Parker Retzlaff on the outside. We'll have 7 laps to go in stage 1 on the restart. Shane Van Gisbergen in the Wendy's car in 3rd. Sam Mayer 4th, right on the outside. FAHQ2, thanks for tuning in. Green flag is in the air. 7 laps to go. Great launch by Cole Custer on the restart. Oh, up into the wall hard. Parker Retzlaff. Is that off the front bumper of Chandler Smith? Heavy damage to the front of the 31. Well, I didn't want it to be a wreck fest today. It's a caution fest already.
No, I think there's some disagreements.
Sam Mayer,
More.
I think.
I mean, there's more disagreements.
It's off the front of the 1.
He's slow.
Let's see what happens right here. The 31. The 00 gets a great start. 31's a little slow to go.
I mean, the 1 is just into the back of the 31 trying to push him. The 31's trying to get checked up to keep from wrecking, and then the car behind the 1 is into the back of him.
Yeah, the 11 was pushing the 1. I don't know if on purpose or if the 1 was checking up, but it was definitely all connected.
So what happened to the 1 here? NASCAR's instructed him to go back to his spot here.
Well, he's going to continue moving up forward, and then he'll run side by side with the car that he believes he's in the position of, and then NASCAR will make that determination, correct?
Yeah, but apparently he believes it's in front of the 8 guys he just drove by.
So watch the 11 behind the 1. So the 1 pushes the 31 all the way down the straightaway, still pushing him. And then right there, they all lock bumpers. The 81's into the 11, the 11's into the 1, the 1's into the 31. But it all started with the aggressive pushing on the front straightaway.
Oh, this would be a good view right here from the inside.
You know, Parker didn't get a good restart, but you can't push a guy getting into the corner.
We've heard now from NASCAR this is going to end the stage, which will give Cole Custer the win and those 10 points. And the 1 I think pulls up to show his frustration with the 11 who was behind him. This move right here. And he takes a swerve at the 11.
Nope.
11's.
Yeah, I mean, I look, you're pushing the guy in front of you, and the guy behind you it's just emotions.
And Jeff, you made this comment earlier, respond with something like this. When they get pushed, how will they respond? We just saw how Sam Mayer was going to respond.
Well, everybody's different, right? And that's you got to check your emotions. You're in a must-win situation as the 1 car.
Well, now we're hearing this won't end the stage. NASCAR's changed their mind. That's super frustrating if you're a team and you go off the 1 decision because you decide to pit or to not pit. So to hear once it's going to end the stage and then not end the stage changes what the teams are going to decide. I think the 1 has to come in for damage regardless.
Kim, what about the 31?
Yeah, Parker Retzlaff not happy with Sam Mayer. Take a listen to his radio.
And for one thing, I think all the way into turn 1 just feel that race car. He has my tire pushed off the ground and get driving through the throttle.
So when we talked and there was going to be chaos, I think we thought the end of the race, not right here in stage 1, the first 60 laps.
Yeah. Do you see there's damage to the right front of this 31 of Parker Retzlaff?
Parker Retzlaff with a great race so far. Here, let's go back to the restart zone. So right there, the 00 launches. The 31 doesn't. Now the 1 is into the back of the 31, but right here, he needs to get away from him. And Parker Retzlaff is trying to get the car slowed down to make the corner, and then the 11 gets into the back of the 1. And the 81 back into the back of the 11. So I don't understand what Sam Mayer is upset about.
Dan, what about Sam Mayer?
Just a damage check when he came down pit road, change tires, and send him back out there. They want to take care of it now. You see that right rear is the biggest damage area.
Well, this is going to end up being 1 lap to end the stage.
Well, now this puts 7 of Allgaier on fresh tires right behind the 00. 81 right behind him.
All right, so one lap green-white checker to the end of stage one. Cole Custer, the race leader here. Eric Almirola second, green flag back in the air. Good launch for Custer on the bottom lane. Same for Almirola, who's got fresher tires trying to roll the top. Custer trying to hang on. These 10 points are important for him. And the 20 for the owner standings, trying to get the stage win as well. Door-to-door entering 3 and 4. Custer moves the 20 up the hill a little bit. Up on quarter exit. Side by side to the line. Custer by 1/1000th of a second. That was close. I didn't want to call it right at the line because I couldn't tell for sure. Cole Custer by 1/1000th of a second wins stage one over Eric Almirola. It was so close you couldn't tell by the naked eye. Timing and scoring's got Custer though. Eric Almirola second, Justin Allgaier third, Chandler Smith fourth, and Jesse Love in fifth. Sixth for Riley Herbst, Josh Williams seventh, Sammy Smith eighth, Sheldon Creed ninth, and Jeb Burton rounds out the top 10. One lap green-white checker shootout there for the stage win. And of course, again, stage points awarded to those top 10 positions. And honestly, with Allgaier getting 8 stage points and 10 for Custer, that's pretty much going to put Chandler Smith in about a must-win situation now. He came in minus 28 to Custer, and he loses 3 points to him. So he's 31 points back now with 2 stages to go. And on Allgaier, he would now be 36 back. Would have been initially 35 behind Allgaier coming into the day, so. But Custer and Allgaier, they're battling for points still, regardless of where they are above the cut line, because they could be racing each other if a Smith were to go to victory lane. Jesse Love, who was 5th, if he goes to victory lane. I mentioned RCR nearly won the race last season with Creed in that too, as well as, of course, Austin Hill down the home stretch of that one, so. It is possible. Frank Powers in the chat said something about him having a race-winning run, in his opinion, so we'll see. Or picking a driver below the cutoff line. I guess it could have been any one of the 4. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream as well. Be sure to hit the like button on the stream if you haven't done so yet. And right at the end of stage 1, Cole Custer, the stage winner. And because Custer has not been to pit road yet, I'd imagine he'll pit here. We had 5 drivers who had yet to hit pit road. So they'll all be pitting now, maybe a few others topping off on fuel at the tail end of the lead lap. This is our 5th caution of the day, though, with this stage end. So we'll take our first break of the race. You're listening live on KRC to the National Debt Relief 250 at Martinsville. Chat poll will remain open until the end of stage 2. So be sure to hit the like button as well on the stream. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Our chat poll is really tight right now, by the way. Chandler Smith, Cole Custer. Oh, it looks like Eric Almirola is actually going to get the stage win, not Cole Custer. So timing and scoring had Cole Custer winning the stage by 1/1000th of a second, but Eric Almirola, going back to the photo footage, Almirola actually gets it. Where have we seen that before? Kansas, spring, cup race. Timing and scoring was Buescher, naked eye, it was Kyle Larson, and kind of a similar stage end here by the race finishing length, at least for stage 1. Here's Custer on pit road.
That plan from the team wanted caution-wise. Crew chief Jonathan Tony telling his driver, we made our bet, get the points we can in the stage. They did that. They're going to have to go to battle this stage. They're kind of cheerleading their driver. You saw that chassis adjustment as well as an air pressure adjustment because Cole said he just needs more turn late center. It's a little tight in that room.
Custer coming off of pit road now, and I think Cole may have been a little bit, I guess, agitated the way stage 1 ended, listening to his radio.
One. I was on that. And his transcript, transporter was in front of him, and he had momentum on it. That means there are no steps on him.
I understand the frustration.
It's not how it looked, though, so that doesn't make any sense. You weren't there. He wasn't there. It is a 1-point difference. You just never know what that could be at the end of a race. Still second place stage points for Custer. Earl Arnold Jr. welcome into the stream as well. So Almirola and a lot of those other drivers stayed out of the pits after pitting late during one of the plethora of cautions we saw in stage 1. Another 60 laps for stage 2. That'll take us to lap 120. We'll have our diecast showing. We'll end the chat poll and get on with the final 130 laps following that in this race here today. Here's Parker Retzlaff.
Frustration on the radio with what happened with Sam Mayer. Was there something before that incident that led to that?
No, I mean, nothing really happened. I guess I thought it was the 1 at first, but it seems like I just didn't get a good restart, and then the 11 just runs both of us clean over. So it's unfortunate. I think we had a car that could run top 5, and the long runs were really good. We just struggled a little bit with restarts, and it just sucks that we had a car as fast as Xfinity Internet, and it means nothing right now because we're wrecked in stage 1 because somebody's no patience.
Tough way to end it for the pole sitter today, Rick.
Yeah, we had mentioned earlier, it was kind of that underdog story of what could Parker Retzlaff do with this opportunity, and that's the way it ends for him.
And a fast race car on a day like today, and he doesn't know what his plans are for next year, so that makes it even double frustrating.
Anthony Alfredo, the other part of that front row that started this race up front was.
All right, so we'll be setting up for this next restart to begin stage 2 here shortly. Field has gotten the 1-to-go signal. Again, 5 cautions in the first 60 laps of today's race. We had just 6 of them in a 200-lap truck race yesterday. We're already guaranteed 6 because of the stage 2 caution. And lap 120, so very high probability we end up beating yesterday's race. Race is 50 laps longer, so maybe could have beaten it by 1 or 2 yellows. It's looking like we're going to beat it by a lot at this rate. But Almirola, who looked to have maybe the fastest car in the field for the early going, did win stage 1 by maybe less than an inch at the line. Trying to pick up where he left off in stage 2. Green flag back in the air. Him and his teammate Chandler Smith on the front row. Chandler on the outside lane. Almirola on the bottom. Got the launch, and it's clear off of turn 2. Was clear off turn 2. Backed the entry up quite a bit into 3. Chandler Smith rolls the top hard on entry, but can't stay with the 20. Battles to the inside for second. Cut off the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Made a little contact with him. He said last week in a post-race interview following Homestead that he was going to go for broke this weekend, and Chandler Smith maybe showed a little bit of that aggressive side on this restart to quickly get to the bottom lane of the racetrack without losing track position. Contact now as Jesse Love moves the 7 of Allgaier up the track, and he might have had the 98 of Riley Herbst push him into the 7. Love now going to get sent by Herbst into 3 and 4. Allgaier's clear. And Herbst squeezes off the 8 of Sammy Smith on the outside as well. I mean, this is basically a carbon copy of what we've seen the last 2 Martinsville fall races for the Xfinity Series, where we have seen a lot of yellows in these races. And here today, that has been the case already. And picking up where we left off from the last restart, last sets of cautions that we had. And a lot of beating and banging going on here, including between teammates at the front of the field. Chandler Smith trying to move his teammate Eric Almirola out of the way. And Almirola in that 20 car, holds serve for now. Battle for the lead continues on. Justin Allgaier second off the lead in third, is pulling away from fourth on back behind him as Jesse Love still in fourth for the time being. Lap 17 in stage 2 this time by at the line. Chandler Smith trying to roll a slightly wider corner entry. Get that straighter line off. So I'm doing that back in stage 1, very early in the race before the first caution when he was closing in on Parker Retzlaff, who was the pole sitter and at the time the race leader. Running that same line here. More of a setup to try to make the pass than the pass attempt itself. Trying to set him up so he can get the drive off, get underneath him one corner, and then once he gets to the inside, be able to make the pass in that next corner. Sam Mayer trying to charge back through the field after damage from the Retzlaff incident. Right around the right rear tire. Mayer's back up to the 18th place position. Gained a few extra spots with the cars that pitted, of course, during the stage end as well. So now all those spots have been gained from the rear of the field on the restart. He's currently working on Matt DiBenedetto as he battles him for 17th. Top 10 in the running order at lap 80 has Eric Almirola out in front, Chandler Smith in second, Justin Allgaier third, Jesse Love fourth, Sammy Smith is up to fifth now. Riley Herbst drops back to sixth, seventh for Sheldon Creed, Jeb Burton eighth, Ryan Sieg ninth, and Austin Hill rounds out the top 10. Now Anthony Alfredo in 10th as he passes Austin Hill. Alfredo started on the front row, so he is trying to work himself back up towards the front of the field. And Chandler Smith going to take the race lead away from Eric Almirola. Got underneath him in 1 and 2. Clear back straight away into 3. Chandler Smith out in front for the second time today, excuse me. Got to the lead on the first restart of the race after the first caution. So this is the second time he has led now. 24 laps led combined for Chandler Smith, most of any driver. 4 drivers have led at least 1 lap. In fact, all 4 drivers who have led at least 17 or more laps. It's now the 6th lead change already in the race as well. Herbst battling back on Jesse Love again. Door to door, banging fenders off turn 4. Leaning on each other as they battle for 5th. Sammy Smith is up to 4th after he passed Love a couple laps ago. Love just doesn't seem to have the pace needed right now to be able to hold on with these top cars at the front of the field. We saw that in the short green flag stints back at stage 1. Kind of seeing that here at the beginning portion of stage 2 as well. With Chandler Smith leading, Cole Custer's 32 points behind Justin Allgaier with where he is running currently. Allgaier in 3rd and Custer all the way back in 22nd, 21st now. Following his pit stop, stayed out of the pits to try to win the stage, finished 2nd by a nose. The tip of a nose. More contact. Jesse Love running through Riley Herbst. Herbst is probably going to repay him the favor again, I'd imagine. Yeah, there they go. And he knocks him up nearly into the wall. Love had to get way out of the gas to keep it off the fence. Loses about 3+ positions through 3 and 4. Creed, Burton, and Sieg all get by Love as well as Herbst. Creed almost got by the 98 as a result of that contact. It slowed Herbst down quite a bit as well. And now Creed runs through Herbst. Bottlenecks the whole field up down on the bottom. And ever since taking the lead for Chandler Smith, he has now pulled away from Almirola. Almirola is still staying pretty tight with him. Allgaier still within a second of the lead as well, and the leaders have not yet gotten into lap traffic. Jeb Burton trying to make a pass on Sheldon Creed. Looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Creed holds him tight, corner exit off turn 4. We've seen a lot of tempers already this weekend, a little bit in the truck race last night, and a lot of it already in this first 88 laps of the Xfinity race today.
Battle continues on. The 27 of Jeff Burton. He's got a fast race car. Cannot quite get around the 18 of Creed. Battle for the lead's hot as well.
Chandler Smith up in front. Almirola right on his back bumper. Great racing here at Martinsville.
32 laps to go in stage 2 yet. Make that 31 now left in stage 2. Almirola's now back on the 81 of Chandler Smith. It's not honestly surprising because Smith passed him a couple laps ago, caught up and passed him nonetheless. Almirola didn't go anywhere, and Almirola the last couple corners has snuck to the inside or to the back bumper of the 81. And looking at the lap times right now, maybe Chandler Smith maybe burned his tires off a little early in the run or something. Slowest car in the top 5 the last couple laps has been the race leader, Chandler Smith. And the fastest car in the top 5 has been Sammy Smith, who's in 3rd now after passing Justin Allgaier. So 2 drivers in a must-win situation below the cut line are now running 2nd and 3rd. And Allgaier, the lone driver who would be good on points if we were to see an upset winner as of right now, is in 4th. Almirola again back to the inside of Chandler Smith, this time nose to nose as they exit turn 2. Down the back straightaway into 3. The 20 car slides up the track just a little bit through the center of the corner. 81 leans on him. His teammates have been racing hard with one another, but now passing each other back and forth for the lead. Chandler Smith going to try a crossover with the wide entry in. Low exit out, but can't get back underneath the 20 car this time. And Almirola back to the lead for the second time for his own right. And the fastest car on track, Sammy Smith, now within 9/10 of a second of the race leaders. Sammy Smith looking great so far here today. Upset win at Dega to go from 12th in points to the next round into the round of 8, and now trying to go from 8th to 1st here today to put himself in the championship 4. By the way, there's a Corey LaJoie Celsius ad being played right now for Spire Motorsports. Oh man, that's tough. That's a tough scene. I don't know if anybody else is getting the same ad or not. Side by side, Corey LaJoie in the 7 car. Ugh. He does not drive that car anymore. Was traded about a month ago. I think Celsius stayed with the 7 too. I don't think they're with Corey LaJoie in the 51 since he's been over there. So Chandler Smith not able to keep up with Almirola this time around. Sammy Smith is now, again, the fastest car on track other than the leader, Almirola. And even that last lap, Smith was a couple hundredths quicker. Haven't seen a whole lot of tire fall up to this point. About 7/8 of a second from the fastest laps today from this restart to begin stage 2 to where we're at right now, about 20-25 laps or so into this green flag run. Sam Mayer, Cole Custer are battling hard side by side, both trying to come from deeper in the field on this restart. They are currently battling for 12th, and Jesse Love is now back to 11th, by the way, as he continues to free fall. He's no longer in the top 10. So the top 10 in the interval between them, as it's changed a bit since the commercial break, has Eric Almirola in the lead by 9/10 of a second over Chandler Smith. Sammy Smith a second off the lead right on the back bumper of the 81 in 3rd. Justin Allgaier 2.5 seconds back at 4th. Riley Herbst 3.2 seconds back at 5th. Sheldon Creed 6.5 seconds off the lead in 6th. 7.5 seconds back is William Sawalich in 7th. That's as high as he's been in the running order. He started mid-pack too, so he's on the move. Ryan Sieg, 8.3 seconds off the lead in 8th. Anthony Alfredo, 8.7 seconds back in 9th. And Jeb Burton, 9.2 seconds off the lead in 10th. 18 laps to go in stage 2 this time by now, as the leaders have been working through lap traffic the last several laps. Bit of a scattered mess right around the 81 and the 8. Allowed for Sammy Smith to make the pass for second. Almirola's got a bunch of cars right in front of him as well. And this could be a chance for Sammy Smith to capitalize and really try to close the gap. Oh, and one of the lab cars around right in front of the leaders, too. And the caution flag is out for the 6th time. It'd be the 53 of Mason Maggio. Donut on the right side of his car. They were side by side. It looked like right in front or right around the 20 of Almirola, who was leading the race. Again, our 6th caution in these first just over 100 laps. So that was our longest green flag run of the race so far, as it lasted about just over 30 laps, which may lead into yet another pit stop, as the fuel window would be open to make it to the end of this race. We're down to 146 to go, so for that reason, I would imagine a lot of cars will come in, if not the entire field. 30 cars on the lead lap. Patrick Emmerling in the 07 will get the free pass. And a little contact that spun Maggio around. Though it wasn't from the donut on the right side of the car, it was the 50 of Preston Pardis behind him. Just turned him, and I guess that saves Pardis and keeps him on the lead lap, because he was the last, second to last car in the lead lap in front of Almirola. I had to get on the brakes pretty hard to make sure he was going to miss that incident at the outside. Leave tempers flare at the end of the season. Well, we've definitely seen that a couple times already here in the last 24 hours. We may see it yet again tomorrow as well. And this race isn't over yet. We still got a little over half the race remaining. As I mentioned, pit road is open. Fuel window is open to the end of the race. Here come the leaders.
He risks staying out for points, or does he come and just get tires and fall on the field? Kim.
And for Sammy Smith, that first available box, he said the front end feels like it's on ice, the back end a little free. We went out for the short run or the long run. Ultimately, they decided just the air pressure adjustment on those 4 fresh Goodyear tires, snowbook fuel, Dave.
Justin Allgaier said his car is loose into the corner, plowing in the middle of the corner. Loose on corner exit. That's a lot of adjustment for crew chief Jim Coleman, Marty.
Dave Jesse Love has his hands full. He says he has no grip on entry and cannot get it to turn in the center. He said, I just feel like I'm way too slow on corner exit. Meanwhile, Chandler Smith, the very first stall here on pit road, he said it just over rotates on corner exit, and I never get the rears underneath me. We'll see if they can gain a couple spots here on the 81, but they are going to actually lose a number of spots. Waiting at the clear as Eric Almirola holds on to the lead here in the progressive race off of pit road.
Cole Custer up 3 positions, up 2 for Creed, up 1 for Allgaier. Tough break for Chandler Smith, losing 3 spots on pit road. So he will fall out of 3rd and back to 6th, it appears, for the restart. Not counting if anybody might have stayed out of the pits, which it does look like we had a few of them stay out. It's like on our leaderboard, Ryan Sieg, Myatt Snyder, Brennan Poole, and Garrett Smithley all stayed out of the pits. Interesting for Sieg, because he was running in 9th when the caution came out. All right, well, that's where we run for right now. We'll take another ad break before the restart. You're listening live to the National Debt Relief 250 here at Martinsville for the NASCAR Cup Series. Or NASCAR Xfinity Series, excuse me. Cup race tomorrow. $45 votes currently on the chat poll. 31% of you think somebody other than Almirola, Custer, or Chandler Smith will win the race. Now, Cole Custer actually had the least amount of votes the last time I checked this poll, and now he's tied for 2nd. Only 2% out of the top spot, which I'm surprised. He did finish 2nd in stage 1. Eric Almirola, who won the first stage and appears to me to be the fastest car right now, only 11% of the votes. For those of you that haven't voted in the chat, vote for who you think is going to win, but surprised Almirola is not the majority pick here. Here's my pre-race pick. I think only twice this year I've picked the winner twice in the same weekend. So trying to go for 3. I have not had a clean 3-peat sweep of the weekend whenever the Truck Xfinity and Cup Series has been racing at the same time. It's hard to do. Very hard to do, but we'll see. And considering I picked Tyler Reddick to win the Cup race last weekend, I'll be going for 3 in a row. Getting hot at the end of the season. 6 race win picks for the Cup Series this year, 9 for Xfinity, and after last night's truck race, it gives me 8 for the trucks. That 9 for Xfinity, that's interesting. Because if I end up getting one more, I think that's going to tie what I did back in 2020, which was the first year of the channel. We weren't doing live commentary content at the time, but I predicted 10 winners in the Cup season that year. I took Harvick to win 6 of the 9 races he ended up winning. But, hey, man, he kept winning. I remember that. That season's going to be tough to beat for the Cup side of things. Xfinity and Truck are a little easier to predict because there isn't as many competitive cars as what there is in the Cup Series, so I don't want to really factor that in. But this will be a career high for Xfinity with where we're at already. So looking to add to that with 2 races to go. As I mentioned, top 4 cars stayed out of the pits during that last caution. 10 laps to go here in Stage 2 for the restart. Green flag back in the air. All those drivers on the fresher tires behind the slower cars at the front of the field already. The 45 moving up out of line. 3 wide as the cars racing by underneath them. Eric Almirola looking to get to the inside of the 91 of Mike Snyder, who spun earlier, holding up that outer lane of cars, which behind him right away would be the 18 and the 98 of Creed and Herbst. Almirola up to 3rd off turn 2, clear the 91 of Snyder, who's running clean on the restart. Almirola now looking for 2nd in turn 3, drives it in deep. 44, not going to cut him a lot of room. That's Brennan Poole. Almost up into the wall, trying to get all the speed necessary off the exit of turn 4 is Ryan Sieg. Side by side for 2nd still. I don't think Sieg's going to be able to hold on. Almirola's just so darn quick. But how about Sheldon Creed on the restart? Despite being pinned behind the 91 on the outside, was able to get to the bottom. He'd be 2nd of those that pitted during the caution. 4th on the leaderboard. Sammy Smith right there behind him, who looked to be good on that last long run before the last yellow. Good restart for Sammy. I'll have to check what the owner standings looked like coming into the race, because I have no clue if Almirola would be anywhere close on points. Mike Snyder in the 91 getting moved up out of the way of Riley Herbst. And he'll fall likely out of the top 10 now as he's getting freight trained. 44 Brendan Poole trying to hold on into the top 10 as much as he can. Still racing for points outside of course, the top 12 from the initial playoffs. Poole is right around 15th, 16th in points all year through the regular season. He actually won a stage, if I'm not mistaken, at Richmond earlier this year. Ryan Sieg's still holding on for now. Almirola all over his back bumper exiting turn 4. 3 laps to go this time by in stage 2. Chandler Smith driving by Poole for what is currently 6th place. Custer now underneath the 44, side by side for the lead in 1 and 2. Almirola on the inside of the 28 of Ryan Sieg. Sieg on the outside trying to get the drive off. Into turns 3 and 4 now. Door to door, the 20 held very tightly to the bottom. 28 gets the good drive off. My feed's lagging. I don't know what's going on now. Oh, jeez. Big lag. Big lag. Watch it get done lagging, and then... Is it a CW problem, or is it on my end? Because I really have no idea. The stream is still running fine. I think the CW's got a powwow on my end. Well, the stage has come to an end at the bottom of the screen. It looks like Eric Almirola by 9/10 of a second must have cleared Sieg then off of turn 2 with 2 to go in the stage. Sieg held on for second place. So Eric Almirola wins stage 1 and stage 2 tonight. Ryan Sieg held on those old tires for second. Sheldon Crate third, Sammy Smith fourth, and Justin Allgaier fifth. Chandler Smith in 6th, Cole Custer 7th, Riley Hurst 8th, William Sawalich in 9th, and Brennan Poole did hang on for 10th. So that is the Stage 2 results. Thought you were crazy for picking Reddick, my words. Yeah, we're having some issues here at the CW. Let me know in the chat if you guys are also having issues with the CW. Good thing it wasn't 2 laps to go in the race when that happened. Got some problems. We've got problems. Race should be called the National Temper... What is that? National Temper Relief 250? Yeah. I'm missing what's going on right now. I'm having some technical issues. Try turning my TV off and turning it back on again. I wasn't even able to log back into Hulu. I'll tell you what, this is going to stink if I can't get this back up and running again. I would imagine we're probably getting... Well, not many cars would be pitting anyway. Sieg and everybody, the 4 cars that stayed out of the pits, they're definitely going to be pitting right now. I think I'm going to have to... Don't have the CW watching on the app. I wonder if Hulu's experiencing issues. So it's working on my phone, but my TV isn't working. Supposedly. Oh, it logged me out. Come on, Hulu. How does it just log me out, like, right in the middle of the... Oh, my gosh. Like, mid-watch. It's like, yeah, we're going to log you out right now. Well. I've got it running on my phone for right now. I don't know what the... I got to remember my password. I haven't had to log into this in forever. It is back up on my phone, so I'll be ready for the next restart at the very least, but I won't be able to look at the chat for a minute until I get this up on the big screen. I can't believe it. I've never had that happen to me before. I've had Hulu for, this is technically 2 full NASCAR seasons now, as we're nearing the end of it. It's never logged me out at pure randomness like that before. I was wondering why it was lagging so bad, and I tried to log out, and then like I couldn't even get logged back in. Then it was asking me to put my username and password in. I don't know what the password is off the top of my head. Tough scenes on KRC Productions. Let's see here. I can't believe it just logged me out. It's weird that I'm able to get in on my phone without having to log back in again. But on my TV, it just logged me out. I can't even get to the login screen on my TV again. The heck happened, man? I've got nothing. They are back on the air. There we go. Finally got the login.
Speedway. DJ, all right. Almirola, he won stage 1. He's won stage 2. Are we going to see him sweep Martinsville?
You know, he's the biggest problem for the guys that are in a must-win situation. I mean, Sammy Smith and Chandler Smith are both running good right up there, but if they can't beat that 20 car, then that's not going to do them any good. And I think Eric Almirola is their big issue in making that happen.
I'm a little bit surprised also by this 28, Ryan C.
That makes 2 of us, Rick. That's what Pitt wrote about 90 laps ago. We'll have to see what their plans are. You can add Jesse Love to the list of bus wins with the points awarded. The 2 cars. So now the 8, the 1, and the 2 all must win. Those 6 points earned in the stages for Jesse Love were not enough to keep him mathematically possible to advance on points.
Ready, green. Final stage is underway. Almirola. Creed making up the front row. Ryan Sieg slides up the racetrack in that 28, and a little bit of an opening there for the 7, but Allgaier doesn't take it. Green, the bumper to the back of the 20.
Watch his 8 car. He needs to win. He's got a good race car. Basically, it's a battle to try to get to that 28 on a little bit older tires.
Oh, don't lag on my phone either right now. Come on.
Can the 8 car racetrack?
Steve, the guys that came on lap 105, are they good for fuel?
I would imagine they're probably just a little short, or they're thinking they're either going to get enough yellows if they come right away to save gas, or if maybe halfway through the run you're going to take tires anyway. I imagine it's what they're thinking.
That's what the situation is for Almirola and Creed right now. Those 2 up front. Allgaier, Custer, Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, all on that same strategy.
Contact right there. 0-0 into the back of the 7.
Well, that's one way to gain the 10 points that he's got the advantage on. You just push him out of the way and send him up the racetrack. Now the 19 of Williams Wallace is in the wall.
Oof. And you damn tough one.
Shorten the back of that car up considerably.
He's done a good job working himself up from the back of the pack. He's learning 10th place.
He locked the front, maybe locked the left front up a little bit and checked up a little bit more. That's not the left front.
Could that have been some wheel hop there?
I don't think so. It's odd
That smoke
looking.
came out quick.
Very odd looking. Maybe the smoke's off of there. 5-car of Alfredo. That's very weird.
So William Sawalich gets into the wall, brings out the caution for the 8th time here at Martinsville.
All right, we got your home and auto bundled, and you saved hundreds.
It's an ace with the economy and all. Let's say economy.
All right, well, under caution again, a very quick restart. Number 30 like button here. Well, appreciate you hitting that like button and tuning in. Tim Brown, thanks for watching the stream. Definitely be sure to hit the like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as well. Eric Almirola winning stages 1 and 2. Continues to lead here early in stage 3. Something went wrong. What do you mean something went wrong? Oh my gosh. No, it's right. I might have to watch the rest of the race on my phone. Figure this out after the stream's over. Hopefully it doesn't log me out on my phone like it did on the TV randomly. I literally have the password right in front of me and it's saying it's not right. I didn't get my account hacked like midstream, did I? Well, I'll be trying to look at the chat as much as I possibly can. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to, I don't want to reset right now. I'm scared if I reset, it's gonna log me out of my phone too. I don't know what's going on there. That is so odd. 2 laps to go in stage 2. It logged me out on the TV, and now I'm forced to have to watch the rest of the race on my phone. Oh no, it just logged me out of my phone too. Are you serious? Oh, okay, hang on. I don't know what's going on, man, with my Hulu account. Hopefully we survive to the end of the race. Oh, jeez. We'll hope for the best. We're getting ready for the restart to begin stage 3. Despite the technical difficulties. 110 laps to go on the restart. Almirola, Creed on the front row. Couple of GGR Toyotas. Almirola on the inside. Green flag back in the air. Creed trying to get redemption from a season ago at this racetrack to try and finally break into that first win of his Xfinity Series career. Side by side down the back straightaway for the lead for right now. He's holding strong with his teammate. Has a nose out in front through the center of the corner. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a heck of a restart for Sheldon Creed if he can get this lead on the outside, and he does. Had a chance to pull back down to the bottom, but stays high instead. Well clear off turn 2 yet again. How about Sheldon Creed getting to the lead on the restart? Getting by the veteran Eric Almirola, and the same equipment nonetheless. Almost 3 wide for third down the back straightaway. Custer trying to break through to the inside of Ryan Sieg. Gets by him for fourth. Follows up right in line behind Justin Allgaier. And Chandler Smith, who is the highest in the running order right now in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, is currently battling Sieg for 5th place. So again, top 5 from the restart. Sheldon Creed in the lead. Eric Almirola second. Justin Allgaier third. Cole Custer in fourth. And now Chandler Smith is up to 5th as he's all clear for that spot. Sieg finally breaks through back down to the bottom lane of the racetrack in front of Jeb Burton in the 27. Logjam single file line working their way through 1 and 2. So Sieg in 6th. Big block on the back straightaway on Jeb Burton as well. Jeb into the corner. Using the front bumper to the back bumper of the car in front of him. Cole Custer, meanwhile, trying to make a pass on Justin Allgaier for a spot. Points as they run. Custer making the pass on Allgaier. 7-point difference between the 7 and the 00. With Custer in third and Allgaier in fourth. Again, one of those two drivers will not make the championship 4 if Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, Sammy Smith, or Sam Mayer are to win this race today. And Chandler now battling on Allgaier, whose car seems to be slipping away from him just a bit. A couple laps after the restart, Almirola initially lost the lead to his teammate on the outside lane of Sheldon Creed. Almirola has since caught the 18. Eric has had a very good long-run car all night so far. And they are side by side for the lead yet again. Full lap now. They've been door to door. 100 laps to go here at Martinsville. Leader the last time by at the line was Sheldon Creed. Same thing this time by, about a half a car length out ahead of the 20. Corner entry, the 20 trying to go a little bit off the curb on his rotation through the center of 1 and 2. In doing so, couldn't get the drive off. Still, Creed holding on for dear life right now. It's going to be a long 99 laps for him if he continues to lead, but as fast as that 20 car has been so far today, it's going to be really tough to hold him off even for 9 laps, let alone 99. We have had 8 cautions in this race already, 2 more than the truck race last night in the first 151 laps now of this race out of 250. Most laps led in this one thus far is Eric Almirola, who won the first 2 stages. He's led for 56 laps. 3 different times he has led so far, trying to take the lead for the 4th time. Sheldon Creed has led once now for 13 laps and counting. Cole Custer led for 17. Chandler Smith has led twice for 34. 13 laps led for Ryan Sieg. And pole sitter Parker Retzlaff has led for 20 laps as well. So 6 different drivers have led. And 11 lead changes. Average race speed to this point, 58.34 miles per hour. 1 hour, 21 minutes, 53 seconds and counting in this race. I didn't get a chance to end the chat poll at the end of stage 2 with the issues I was having with Hulu. So I will end that chat poll right now. Looks like 35% taking somebody other than Custer, Almirola, or Chandler Smith for the win. 51 votes were casted in that poll as well. So thank you for everybody that voted. And I'll make sure to get that stage 2 diecast showing out as soon as we get to the next caution or commercial break, whatever happens first. Currently 31 cars are on the lead lap. William Sawalich is still in the race, 5 laps down following the last incident. Bubba Pollard with damage, 6 laps down, appears to still be on track. 2 laps down for Logan Bearden in the 74. 4 cars out of the race today. Carson Ware, AJ Allmendinger, Parker Retzlaff, and Leland Honeyman are all out of the race so far. Almirola back to the race lead. 4th different time he has led now today, most of any driver, by twice the amount. Adding on to the lap sled total, and quickly Cole Custer now battling for 2nd with Sheldon Creed. So during stage 2, I was going to check the owner standings out as well to see where Almirola was ranking coming into the race. And because of my Hulu glitches, I did not see yet. All right, so let's look here. On the owner's playoff side of the things, the 21 and the 16 would obviously be in the championship 4. It was a tie between Custer and Almirola coming into the day for the owner's standings. And those two are running 1st and 3rd with Almirola in the lead. So if the 20 car is the win, then either Custer or Allgaier will end up missing the owner's playoffs but make it into the drivers. So worth keeping an eye on for anybody that cares about the owner standing side of things that the 20 team is racing for. I'll try to highlight that towards the end of the race a little more as we get down to it if it's still close. Obviously, we'll focus in on the driver's side of things for the most part. Brake rotors are glowing. Kind of a cool camera to have right underneath it looks like the right front of the race car on Jeb Burton's number 27 machine. And there is that side-by-side commercial break currently going on the CW. So with that being said, here's our diecast showing for the race today. Former Xfinity Series driver, double-digit wins in the Xfinity Series in his career, Elliott Sadler. This is from 2003. It's got the Winston Cup logo on it still. So 2003. Had my dog on the stream earlier today. Well, not my dog. It was my sister's dog. On the stream earlier on today. So here's the Elliott Sadler pedigree paint scheme from 2003. That's got a little golden retriever on it. They're one of my favorite blue-yellow schemes. Always like the doggies on the cars. Pedigree schemes over the years have always been pretty good, I thought. So this is our diecast showing for today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race. In the Robert Yates Racing Days. One of my 2 Elliott Sadler diecasts that I have of these 124 scale. And also one of 2 Robert Yates racing cars because I have a Dale Jarrett one also. I need to get the Dale Jarrett quality care car. I haven't pulled the trigger on buying that yet, but that's definitely one I'd like to buy also. Problem for the 74 of Dawson Cram. Logan Bearden, excuse me. I apologize for that. Cram not the 74 this weekend. Logan Bearden. Right front issue. There's a fire underneath the right front. We saw some rotors glowing. Those rotors are on fire. And we do stay green as he has made it to pit road. Mason Maggio, Greg Van Ulst have gone a lap down during this current green flag run, so Almirola is starting to get into the back of traffic. Last lap Almirola ran was a 21.63. And at the back of the pack right now, last car in the lead lap, Patrick Emerly is 19.6 seconds off the lead. So a couple cars losing multiple laps now. Sammy Smith is battling on track with Shane Van Gisbergen. And that is currently a battle going on for 11th. 74 car quickly pulled his machine into the garage. Justin Allgaier now trying to hold up Riley Herbst to keep from losing too many positions. Doesn't want Cole Custer to try to creep in for the regular season championship. It was reminding me of the regular season championship when Allgaier blew a big lead on Custer in those final couple races, but not a massive lead. He was only 7 points ahead of him coming into the day. $10 on the owner standing side of things. Playoff points varying obviously there. Compared to what they were in the regular season side of things. With the driver standings. Obviously, that is factoring in Almirola in that 20 team getting playoff points and stage points throughout the round. So can Cole Custer in third basically hold Chandler Smith up? That's his goal. He's in a good spot because he's ahead of the guy that if they were to win the race, he would get into the next round of the playoffs. Obviously, they would like that 0-0 to get into the drivers and the owner's side of things. For the championship, if Almirola wins, that would take the owner's playoff spot away from Custer, but the driver would be running for the Xfinity title for the second year in a row as Custer tries to go back-to-back. And we had seen in this format Tyler Reddick go back-to-back in the elimination-style playoffs back in 2018 and 2019. Winning a championship both with Junior Motorsports and then the following season with Richard Childress Racing. And then that was the last RCR Xfinity title. 77 laps to go. Caution back out on the racetrack again. Our ninth caution of the day, and this time it's Preston Pardis in the 50. Who is around. He was well off the lead lap already, and a little bit of damage to the left rear of his car as he has backed it up against the fence in turns 3 and 4. Attempting to try to get it turned back around in the right direction. Partisan spun a car off his front bumper way back in stage 2. And this time it looked like the 39 of Kyle Sieg had gotten into the back of him battling for position. Well, I guess he was already a lap down. Sieg was on the lead lap. Pardis was not. It definitely looked like Sieg blew the corner right in the middle of 3 and 4, making contact with them as they were side by side on entry. So 2.1 second lead for Eric Almirola is now washed away. Still quite a bit of time left in this race. Everybody's good on fuel to the end, but will they pit for tire purposes here will be the next question. May see pit stops, and if we do, you'll get to listen into those pit reports. Full field running order under the yellow with 74 laps to go. Looks like this with Eric Almirola in the lead. Sheldon Creed in second. Cole Custer third. Chandler Smith fourth. Justin Allgaier fifth. Riley Herbston sixth. Sam Mayer seventh. Anthony Alfredo eighth. Jeb Burton ninth. And Parker Kligerman 10th. Sammy Smith in 11th. Shane Van Gisbergen in 12th. Ryan Sieg 13th. Brandon Jones 14th. Brendan Poole 15th. 16th. Josh Williams. Austin Hill in 17th. 18th for Myatt Snyder. Dylan Lupton 19th. And Matt DiBenedetto in 20th. Jesse Love 21st, Blaine Perkins 22nd, Jeremy Clements 23rd, Kyle Sieg 24th, Garrett Smithley 25th, Dawson Cram 26th, Ryan Ellis 27th. Patrick Emmerling will get the free pass in 28th, Mason Maggio 29th, Greg Van Olsen 30th. Preston Pardis 31st, William Sawalich 32nd, Logan Bearden 33rd. Bubba Pollard 34th, Leland Honeyman 35th, Parker Retzlaff 36th, AJ Allmendinger 37th, and Carson Ware 38th.
Towards the later part of that run, they will make a track bar adjustment for fresh Goodyear tires, snow fuel. Top right, Cole Custer, he said it is loose, so they will take an adjustment, go one round back on their last adjustment as they take tires and fuel, Dave.
Justin Allgaier gives up tip for Goodyear tires and fuel. He needs it to be Tiger Ortega. Bernie.
First good stall on pit road. Chandler Smith said we're better the longer we run, but we need more. He said they can grab the corner and finish the corner just way better than I can. And when I go to the throttle on corner exit, I just lose all of my rear traction. They're also going to lose 2 spots here on pit road. Chandler Smith is Eric Almirola once again. Hold serve here on Progressive Pit Road, Greg.
Yeah, that race up.
Yep, Almirola wins the race off pit road. Top 3 positions still remain the same. A little bit of changing in the leaderboard in the middle of the top 10. Couple spots here and there. Get under caution for the ninth time today. Looks like Van Ulst and Maggio taking the wave around to get back on the lead lap as well. So we'll have 30 cars on the lead lap with this next restart. Kyle C credited with the lap led under caution as he actually stayed out of the pits. Probably come down to pit road after everybody else, so that'll add another lead change and another new leader. 7 different drivers have led at least one lap in the race today. '74 has a fire in the right rear wheel, no yellow. Yeah, he made it to pit road pretty much as it was starting. It wasn't a big fire. It was inside the car, and by the time he pulled into the garage, some safety officials had put the fire out for him. Didn't leave any fluids or anything like that or debris on the track, so that's why they stayed green. $32 likes on the stream so far. Again, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. We'll take a quick break and continue our live commentary coverage of the National Debt Relief 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series right here at Martinsville Speedway. They are back from the caution commercial break on the CW's part. We'll have less than 70 laps to go in the restart. Already had a ton of yellows in this race. 9 cautions and 180 laps around a half-mile short track. Really plagued the race length here today. The truck race is over. And about as much time as it's taken to get 180 laps of this race in so far. Reaping 59 mile per hour average race speed. Now it's 58.95 mile per hour average race speed as the field gets the 1 to go signal. We'll have officially 68 laps to go on the restart. Hour 35 minutes into this. Almirola will be on the inside of row 1 yet again. 81 laps led for Eric Almirola so far. Longest green flag run of the day. Couple laps over 30. And that was to begin stage 2. So barely over 30 laps, our longest green flag run.
Pretty good start at all. Double Zero's going to try to work his way between the 7 and the 20. That opening is there, and now little bumper cars there as the 81 got into the back of the 7. 7 got into the back of Double Zero. The caution's in her.
Did the 7 let the Double Zero in?
The 92 was around, and that's why the caution is out.
It's an odd look down the backstretch.
Dawson Cram, it was an odd look.
Either the 7 didn't get off the corner well, or I don't know why he would let him in.
That's caution number 10. So this is what you guys were predicting, There might be a caution or 2 to end this race. This time it's Dawson Cram going up the racetrack and brings out the yellow flag.
Like this, all my stress is melting.
All so much for that. They got 1 lap in, caution out, turns 3 and 4. First lap following the restart. Looked like Jesse Love got into the back of the 92 car of Dawson Cram. Spun him around. Cram backs it into the outside wall in the middle of 3 and 4. And this is now our 10th caution of the race today. Continues our caution-filled National Debt Relief 250. Some of these team owners might be using the title sponsor of this race, because this is going to hurt the wallet for many of those teams today with all these cautions that we've seen. Damaged race cars, beating and banging from really lap 1 all the way to now. I mean, it has been overly aggressive since the start. I mean, I can remember on lap 3, lap 4, we saw cars banging into each other already. They were not wasting any time. So we kind of saw that in the truck race last night, but not to this extent. Nowhere near this extent, really. Couple of NASCAR people carrying the grandfather clock into victory circle. Well, I guess victory circle is technically on the front stretch here at Martinsville, so maybe not going to take it to the front straightaway quite yet, but they're getting it lined up to do so. Almirola already getting one of those earlier this season. Unique thing about this speedway, it doesn't matter what kind of race you win at Martinsville. It could be a local short track series event, a modified event, obviously any one of these top 3 series in NASCAR, you get a grandfather clock, so that's pretty cool. At any level of racing, from the top level of the NASCAR Cup Series all the way down to your local Saturday night, Friday night short track races at Martinsville, that they have a handful of them throughout the year, and you'll get a Martinsville grandfather clock. When I end up getting my own place, though, sometime, I am going to get a grandfather clock. I feel like as a NASCAR fan, it only makes sense. You know, I'll never be able to win at Martinsville sometime in my life, so I'll just purchase one. It'll be like as if I won at Martinsville. I've won there enough on full video game races from time to time, so maybe if I do it on the career mode in a full race one of these times, if I haven't already, then maybe I could do it then. I don't have the space to do it here. It's already cluttered. Rammed. Easy Network, thanks for tuning in. Final 60 laps will probably be insane. I mean, I don't know how much more it could get. I mean, we've already seen what we've seen so far in the race. I don't think it's going to be any different down the home stretch. The one thing that has been constant is Eric Almirola's been whipping the field. Got beat on one restart from the outside by Sheldon Creed, but that was pretty much about it. Everything else for him so far in this race has been very good. Maybe a little better on the long run than the short run, but other than that one restart, has been able to hold on to the lead. I think Preston Pardis technically got the free pass with that caution. No, actually the 15. Dylan Lupton had gotten the free pass with that last caution, so he's back on the lead lap. It's 30 cars now in the lead lap. Preston Pardis 3 laps down, the only car that is actually on track. William Sawalich, who did stay in, did not clear the DVP clock. And so now he is out of the race in 32nd. How slow is this average race speed going to get today? That's going to be the question. We're at 58 miles per hour. It keeps dropping with every single yellow we get. It might be below 55 miles per hour before the end of this thing. 60 laps at Martinsville is not a long time, and if it stayed green the whole way, this thing would be done in less than 20 minutes, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. And we might still have a ways to go here today. Sun isn't completely set at Martinsville Speedway, but getting pretty darn close. Almirola Custer will be the 2 on the front row this time around. Green flag back in the air. Almirola leads the way into turns 1 and 2. And clears Custer on corner exit. Custer clear for second, can get down to the bottom. And does so immediately. Little bump to the back of the 20 of Almirola. A lot of bumping to the back of the 20. 20 car still gets a good drive off. Almirola continues to lead. Door to door for third with Riley Herbst and Justin Allgaier. Herbst on the outside, Allgaier down low on the bottom. Jeb Burton in fifth. Right there as well. Great run for him. Steadily through the top 10. His teammate started on the pole. Parker Retzlaff in this one. And Chandler Smith looking to the bottom of Burton. Gets cut off by Riley Herbst in the 98. Bumper to the back of the 98 now from the front of the 81. A little bit of contact side by side through the corner as well. Next corner, Herbst sets it into the turn 3 entry. Can't get back to the 81. Jeb Burton to the outside of Herbst, looking to get back inside the top 5 yet again. Nose-to-nose battle for position. Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith also in the must-win situations for the playoffs, looking to get by the 98 of Herbst. Burton cleared from the outside. Sam Mayer going for 6th to the bottom lane of the racetrack. Anthony Alfredo also stuck on the top behind Herbst. He finally gets to the bottom off of turn 4. In the 9th spot, right in front of Shane Van Gisbergen, who's in 10th in his second Xfinity race here at Martinsville. First one would have been the spring race earlier in the season, of course. Solid run for SVG on a short track. He stayed out of trouble all day, and tough to do in a caution-filled race here at Martinsville. SVG battles with Parker Kligerman for that 10th spot on track. Kligerman is on the inside, and there's a little bit of damage on the right front fender of the 97 as well. Of Van Gisbergen. Chandler Smith beating down the 7 of Allgaier for 3rd. And we've got trouble again. Couple cars spinning towards the outside wall and driving away in turns 1 and 2. The 11 of Josh Williams. And there was somebody else also involved. I believe it was the 29 of Blaine Perkins, and it was. Well, 3 wide at Martinsville. That doesn't work out very well. We saw it work on restarts at times today in the sense that it didn't cause an incident, but this time it does. Sheldon Creed was on the bottom of that 3 wide battle. As the 11 and the 29 go spinning to the outside. Caution number 11. Let me know in the chat, what's your guys' predictions? How many cautions are we going to see today? Want to see a little bumping and banging? I mean, if you've watched this entire race so far, you've seen a lot of bumping and banging. It's been more than a little. Ten straight Xfinity races at Martinsville with 10 or more cautions. Why is it every single time we come here in this series in particular, man, it just gets out of control. I didn't realize we had that many in the spring race this year, but I guess we did. And under the yellow, Josh Williams hitting Sheldon Creed. Mayer was upset with Williams earlier. Williams now upset with Creed. I don't think we've seen the last of somebody getting upset with somebody else. We still have 50 to go. We've had 5 more cautions in this Xfinity race than what we had in the truck race last night, and the same amount of laps to get to where we're at currently, which is 200. Can't remember what the average race speed of that truck race was last night, but it definitely was a lot better than 58.3 miles per hour. And we have 11 cautions total. 100 laps led now for Eric Almirola. He's more than locked in for the most laps led. Trying to get the win to advance the 20 team to the Owners' Championship 4. Easy Network says 15 cautions. 7 more yellows, says Frank Powers. Well, with unlimited overtimes, I guess technically it's possible. How many cars does Gibbs have in this race? 5? 4. 20, 81, 18, and 19. Those are all full-time cars, but they only have 2 full-time drivers. Sheldon Creed and Chandler Smith are the full-time drivers, and then the 20 and the 19 cars have been driven part-time all year. Should be getting to the choose rule this time. 91. 91's not a Gibbs car. Mario Gosling owned car in the 91 and the 92. I think you're thinking of that because Myatt Snyder is in that car. That's a Chevy. Snyder, of course, ran part-time for JGR last season. Several races. He might have even been in the 19 at times this year as well. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if that's the case or not. All right. 48 laps to go in the restart. Let's try this again. Almirola Custer on the restart side by side. Quick caution that time. It was only about 4 laps maybe. Green flag back in the air. No pit stops that were notable. Don't imagine anybody else is going to be pitting at the end of this race unless they have damage from an incident. Fuel's plenty good to the end. Tires probably going to be fine to the end. All the caution laps we've ran, not many green flag laps on them. And way too much track position to overcome. We had a lot less trucks on the lead lap at the end of the race yesterday because of a long green flag run to begin stage 3. Here today we have 30 cars on the lead lap currently. Almirola got to the lead on that last restart a lap and a half ago. Pretty easily out ahead of Cole Custer. Custer in the second place position still. Side-by-side battle for third with Chandler Smith and Justin Allgaier. Smith on the outside looking to take advantage and is clear. Cole Custer still in front of the 81. Needs to keep him out of victory lane if he's going to make it to the championship 4 for the driver's side of things. A lot of side-by-side battles still going on for position. Starting off with the 2 JRM cars of Sam Mayer and Sammy Smith. Side-by-side for 6th currently. Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer both in must-win situations as well. Smith pulled clear of the 1. The 1 puts the bumper to him, though I think he was getting pushed by the 98 as well. And they accordioned. Sammy Smith runs the 98 down the track. 98 runs right back up into him on the outside in the center of 3 and 4, and that only cost Herbst that spot. Showing a replay of Sam Mayer getting up against the wall. First lap after the restart off turn 4. He scraped it a bit. Doesn't seem to have hurt the car too much. He settled in 6th. Very next corner, he moved his teammate up out of the way anyway. Battle for second here. Chandler Smith and Cole Custer. Side by side. Smith on the inside. Custer is up high on the outside. 5-point difference between Allgaier and Custer, with Custer in second and Allgaier in 4th. I believe Custer would have to beat Allgaier by 7 positions to have a tie between the two. And the tiebreaker, of course, is the best finish in the round. Which, off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure who has the best finish in the round between the two, so I'm about to look. So we have that for the finish if needed. Best finish in the round for Allgaier, 3rd at Vegas. Best finish in the round for Cole Custer is 2nd at Miami. So Custer has the tiebreaker. If needed. So again, if Custer beats out Allgaier by 7 positions, he will have the final spot if Chandler Smith were to win still. Orme or Sammy Smith, who are also 6th and 7th. Jesse Love also in the must-win situation. Unfortunately, he's back at 18th. Has been off all night. He was in the top 10 early, qualified top 10, but hasn't been able to stay there through the majority of the race, and he's had a really tough time this evening. 38 laps to go. Almirola's got a 1.3 second lead over Custer. 81 all over the back bumper of the 00. The 7 cars closing in as Smith has taken quite some time to get by Custer himself. Custer definitely slower than at least the first 2 cars in line behind him. After so long, Chandler's going to get restless here. He sees that 20 car start to slip away a bit. You can assume we're still going to get more cautions, but you don't know how those restarts are going to go in your favor or not. Lap car in the way now of the 00. Will stay down to the bottom of the racetrack. Custer gets by on the outside. Smith lost a little bit of ground that last lap, and Allgaier almost got around him for 3rd. "35 laps to go at the line."
But in a situation where he has to win this race, 5 laps to go. And we saw what he said earlier on social. Whatever it takes. Driving like his life depends on it.
I think if he could get underneath the 00 again, he's just going to take the spot because he's a little bit quicker. And with the laps winding down, he's got to do it. That doesn't mean he has to wreck him or ship him out of the way, but if he drives underneath him, then just use all the racetrack and take the spot.
The gap back from Almirola to Cole Custer is 1.6 seconds. Sparty and Chandler Smith running 3rd.
And Chandler Smith doing everything he can. Chandler Smith having nothing for next year. He has no job prospects right now and does not have a ride in 2025. So desperate drivers do a situation like this. This could be Chandler Smith's career. He has been racing for the better part of his entire life, and this could be one of his final.
Sammy Smith, or rather, wrong Sam. Sam Mayer is now up inside the top 5, currently up to 5th place. Just made a pass on Jeb Burton. Chandler Smith moves the 00 up out of the way and gets by through to 2nd. And trouble further back in the pack, our 12th caution of the race. It looks like the 9 of Brandon Jones is against the outside wall. A little damage to the front of his car. Quite a bit of damage to the nose of that car. It's caved in quite a bit. He hit the wall pretty good. There was another car that looked to be up there towards the wall with him, but when the smoke settled, it was only the 9. So the other driver also collected and driven away. A little quicker. So with 30 laps to go, caution flag is out. Again, our 12th yellow of the race. Spin off the front bumper of Sheldon Creed, it looked like. Creed into the back of the 9 car. The 9 spins up against the wall. And another restart to have to survive for Eric Almirola to get his 2nd grandfather clock and get the Martinsville sweep, just like Christian Eckes did in the truck race last night. Smith had just taken the lead taken 2nd place away from Custer about a half a lap before the caution flag came out. Preston Pardis is getting his laps back with all these cautions coming out, though. He was 3 laps down. He's gotten 2 laps back, and he's now only 1 lap down with the last 2 yellows. Nobody else is off the lead lap on track other than him. So 1 more yellow flag, and he's right back on the lead lap. And I would not be shocked if we get another yellow, considering we still have over 20 laps to go. Well, Eric Almirola probably doesn't want to see caution after caution after caution with a lot of desperate drivers right behind him. And being in the situation Chandler Smith is in, you just wonder how aggressive Cole Custer's also going to be on these late restarts to try to keep the 81 from winning. I think he can be just as aggressive. Because he's going to lose out on a championship 4 spot despite winning the regular season championship if the 81 goes to victory lane here. It is worth noting that Chandler Smith has not won since early in the season as well. Had his 2 wins pretty early in the 2024 campaign. Still stuck at 2 wins. Tough to tell for sure exactly how many laps we're going to have left on the restart. $35 likes on the stream as of right now. Again, be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. As this thing is coming down to the wire. Again, 2 championship 4 spots on the lines for the owner and the driver standing side of things. Almirola trying to get the 20 team into the owner standings. If Almirola and Chandler Smith both fail to qualify, there will be no Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas in the Championship 4 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Which is just crazy. What's even crazier is that they don't have any Championship 4 drivers locked up for the Cup Series yet either. Although Christopher Bell's looking the best on points. Isn't a lock. And Denny Hamlin in the 11, obviously below the cut line. Truex Gibbs already eliminated. Lights are out on the pace car. They'll be going green with 24 laps to go. Almirola's taking the inside lane for the restart every time. Only got beat once, but it was by a teammate Sheldon Creed. So we'll see what Chandler Smith can do on that outside lane as well. It is possible. The big thing is trying to hold door to door off the exit of turn 2. And the closer you are nose to nose off the exit of turn 2, the best chance you're going to have after so many corners to just get that straight drive off to be able to clear the car to the bottom. Everybody's on equal old tires here. All right, Almirola Smith. 24 to go. Green flag back in the air. Almirola waited to the end of the restart zone to get going. Sam Mayer spins the tires, bottlenecks the inside up, and a lot of damage on the 1 of Mayer. And Chandler Smith went up the track. I think Custer got into the back of him down towards turn 1. Sam Mayer's still rolling around with a ton of damage on the front of his car. 23 laps to go. Almirola, by the way, leads, and now we've got a spin off turn 4. And another incident. It looked like Ryan Sieg caught up in this one. One car parked in line behind him, that being Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97. Quite a bit of damage to the right front of SVG's car.
Next thing I knew, the 81 was 3 lanes up. All right, let's see what happens. The 3rd car on the bottom was same there. There's the stack up. Now we're going to go down to turn 1. Look at the left side of your screen. The 00. Oh, there you go. The 00 is just going to shove the 81 out of the way, but it hurts the 00 as well.
Well, it hurts the 00, but it takes the 81 out of the position to win the race. Yeah. But who it does have was the 8. Watch the 8. He's in the same position also that he has to win this race. Look what happens. He drives all the way to 3rd. So you hurt one guy's chance, but you helped others.
Yeah, Cole Custer focusing on the 81 may have let the 8 slip by, and now the 8 is in contention. There's all the damage to the 1 of Sam Mayer.
Yeah, I think it's knocked the radiator out of this right here. I've got to see some fluid underneath the hood or something. Yeah, they're looking down underneath here. Let's listen into the 00.
I mean, it comes around, it goes around. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think nobody blamed him for any of that.
But it's not effective.
It's definitely, it could hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's easy to say, hey, You push me around, I'm willing to push you around. But you were running third. Now you're running sixth, and you put the 8 car in position to win this race. So, yeah, okay, I got your back, but it hurts you. It didn't help you.
And that stack up will end the opportunity for the one. They'll have to go behind the wall. Sam Mayer, his championship hopes are done. And I believe this is a record of DNFs for Junior Motorsports this year. I think the number now is up to 27
Ouch.
DNFs for that organization.
All right, so now a little reset here. That 8 car, he is in a position he has to win a race. Great restart for him. All that worked out. And he is going to be super aggressive. So if you're Allgaier, you know, if the 8 wins, let's just review everything. If the 8 wins, that moves the cut line. So that eliminates Custer. But, you know, Custer's only 12, you know, Allgaier's only 12 points in front of Custer. You could go down in the last corner on the last lap and lose 12 points. Yeah. But I can't believe the 7 is just going to allow the 8 to go on by. That would shock me. No, the worst thing the last thing he wants is for that 8 car to win. But at the same token, you can't just pull over. But look, this is what's hard about racing. You have a situation that you're in, and the situation for the 7 car, he is in a great opportunity with points, no matter who wins the race. So just race the way you race. Just be you in this situation.
Yeah.
Change anything.
Listen into the 81 radio.
What are you going to do is turn around and knock it off on the cloud here. That kind of stuff. What are you going to do? Get beat after the race? You get around, little fuck. All right, we'll be good here. We'll be good.
And Chandler Smith's not happy about the way he's been raced by Cole Custer. Now, remember, the 8 and the 7 are on the same team, Junior Motorsports. So if the 8 goes up there and wins this race and wins his way in, that puts 2 Junior Motorsports cars in the Champ 4.
If the 7 beats the 0-0 by enough points.
But he's ahead by 12.
Yeah, but if 12, to Steve's point, in one lap you could lose 12 positions. It's your point of position, and the 0-0 has the opportunity to gain some spots. So if you're the 7 car of Allgaier, you can't be doing anything to help the 8.
And let's take another look at why the caution came out. It wasn't the 1. It was actually the 28 of Ryan Sieg there. Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97 was behind him.
In the race, this 8 car was fast. Some of that speed has gone away. But
Almirola is, and look at that. Allgaier goes to the bottom.
I think that's a guy saying there's less chance of me getting spun out from the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at Cole Custer. Yeah. He could have pulled up all the way behind the 8 car, and he decided not to.
Behind the 81 again.
Which is crazy, because that's where he decided to fire. Didn't work out. That again.
Will be 16 laps to go.
The choose has been something I think we overlooked, just how much it plays into some of the races. All these years, you just lined up where you had to. This is a great opportunity for Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith.
Look, here's the deal for Sammy Smith. If you can leave the restart zone next to the 20 car, you are in a great spot.
Sammy Smith came in 90.
All right, here we go. 16 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Looked like Parker Kligerman spun his tires inside row 5 on the restart. Front 4 rows take off pretty nicely, especially Almirola from the lead and is quickly out ahead. Sammy Smith the second in front of Justin Allgaier. Side by side for 4th between Chandler Smith, and it looks like the 98 of Riley Herbst is also up in the top 5. Allgaier stays in front of Herbst. Herbst looking to the bottom. He is not quite going to get underneath the 7. 7 washes up the racetrack a little bit. Couldn't tell if there was contact there or not for sure. Custer playing defense, just trying to stay on the bottom lane of the racetrack currently as well. 3 wide middle, Riley Herbst, Justin Allgaier. And that opens a door for Chandler Smith to try to get to 3rd underneath the 7. Off the exit of turn 2, he's got it. So Chandler Smith fights back into 3rd place. Race ain't over yet for him. We'll see if he can run down the 2 cars in front of him, especially if they get to racing with each other. I don't think lap traffic is going to become a factor with only 13 laps to go if it did stay green to the end. And again, Eric Almirola is still the race leader. Sammy Smith has trimmed the gap down to about 0.4 of a second. Few car lengths back of the race lead. Must-win situation for Sammy Smith in second place and the third place car of Chandler Smith. Brandon Jones very slow on the bottom of the racetrack. His leaders are going to have to race by him on the outside through turns 1 and 2. He'll now get out of the way down to the bottom as he creeps. A couple cars scattering 2 and 3 wide into 3 and 4, trying to make some passes back there. Tail end of the field, some sparks flying from underneath the 9. Might have another mechanical incident in this final stage. Custer and Allgaier now battling door-to-door for position. Custer has to beat Justin Allgaier by 7 positions in order to outpoint the 7. So if it stays green here at the end of the race, we're basically looking at Allgaier getting in, and it's going to be up to can Sammy Smith or Chandler Smith, second or third, steal the race win away from Almirola, who has dominated and led over 100 laps. 9 to go this time by. Sammy Smith lost a little ground through 3 and 4 that last lap. Almirola a bit quicker, half a second lead now for the 20. Last lap, Chandler Smith was actually the fastest on track of the top 3. 2 laps in a row now. He's been the quickest, and he is 1.2 seconds off of his teammate in the race lead. It's going to take a lot from third to try to get the win. A little different than the Cup race last weekend where it was a 1.5 mile track. This only being a half mile, it'd be tough to go from third to first on the last lap for the victory, but I guess we've seen it recently before. It could happen again. You just never know in stock car racing. 7 laps left for Eric Almirola. Sammy Smith charges hard on the entry through 1 and 2. It looked like Almirola came up off the bottom a little bit. That's fine for right now until the 8 gets closer. Sammy's charging so hard on corner entry. This has been a great track for Sammy Smith in his young Xfinity Series career. JGR last year had some good runs here and also had a decent run back in the spring with this very 8 team. 5 laps to go now for Eric Almirola. Sammy Smith just trying to get himself to within bump and run range of the 20 coming into the final lap. And Chandler Smith in the 81 is now 1 second off the race lead. Again, he's still the fastest car on track, but he's only beating these top 2 cars by hundredths of a second at a time. He's going to need a big gain one of these laps, which could happen if the 8 can get to the 20 first. 4 to go. 2 more miles of racing here at the Paperclip. Martinsville Speedway. Win and in on the line. 20 of Almirola trying to make it into the owners' playoffs. Lap car in the 74 pulls off track again. Out of the way. We stay green. 3 to go. Half a second lead still for Almirola, and another half a second back behind him is Chandler Smith in third. 2.5 laps to go. Obviously, if we get to the white flag, the next flag will end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. Sammy Smith is still about 3 to 4 car lengths behind the 20 at the stripe that last time by. Lap and a half to go now as they exit turn 2 down the back straightaway. Almirola cannot pedal and use this lead up. He doesn't want the 8 to get there and have a chance. 1 more lap car coming up in front of the leaders here. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Eric Almirola. Still a half a second lead at the line. Lapper stays to the outside of the racetrack and will let the leaders race on. Chandler Smith might have gotten held up a bit by that lap car up off of turn 2, but it doesn't matter. Nobody had a shot for each other in those top 3 positions. And Eric Almirola is going to get the win and put the 20 car in the owners' playoffs for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. A Martinsville sweep for the driver, the number 20. Valiant effort by Sammy Smith as he finishes in second. Third for Chandler Smith as well. Cole Custer 4th, Justin Allgaier 5th, Sheldon Creed finishes 6th. Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer will transfer into the championship 4 for the driver's standings, but the 00 team does not make it to the owner's championship 4 with this 20-car winning. So again, the driver's standings, it'll be Austin Hill, AJ Allmendinger, Cole Custer, and Justin Allgaier. And the owner standings, it'll be the 20 car, the 16, the 21, and the 7. Next weekend going for the title at Phoenix in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Outside of the top 5, you had Sheldon Creed in 6th, Anthony Alfredo 7th, Parker Kligerman in 8th. 9th for Jeb Burton, Myatt Snyder 10th, Riley Herbst 11th. 12th for Jesse Love, Brennan Poole 13th, Austin Hill 14th, Ryan Sieg 15th. Matt DiBenedetto 16th, Josh Williams 17th, 18th Ryan Ellis, Blaine Perkins 19th, Dylan Lupton in 20th, Kyle Sieg 21st, Mason Maggio 22nd, Patrick Emerly 23rd, Preston Pardis 24th, Dawson Cramp 25th. 26th place finish for Greg Van Ulst. He was the last car to finish on the lead lap, so 26 cars on the lead lap tonight. Jeremy Clements 27th, 28th for Shane Van Gisbergen, both 1 lap down. And 29th on back with a DNF here today. Got some discussion. A slap. Chandler Smith slapping Cole Custer. As cars are still driving by them on pit road. Tempers flaring for the second night in a row here at Martinsville. Definitely understand the frustration there from Chandler Smith. Taken out of a clean shot to try to get the win here tonight. Rest of the finishing order quickly as follows. Brandon Jones in 29th, Sam Mayer 30th, Bubba Pollard 31st, Garrett Smithley 32nd, William Sawalich in 33rd, Logan Bearden 34th, Leland Honeyman 35th, Parker Retzlaff 36th, Carson Ware 37th, AJ Allmendinger finishes 38th. 10 DNFs in total tonight, 2 hours, 11 minutes, 30 seconds total time on this race. We finished under a regulation length of 250 laps in the National Debt Relief 250. Average race speed of 58.84 miles per hour. Almirola with the race win. Again, the 20 team in the Owners Championship 4. Almirola led 150 of 200 laps tonight. Definitely had the fastest car en route to the win, without a doubt.
I feel like part of the family, Rick. The family has joined. It's Seahawks. 148 led in April, 150 today. You outdid yourself, and you put this car in the championship 4 for the Owners Championship.
Ha! Wow. What an amazing race car. So proud of Tyler and all the guys on this team, man. We had an amazing car here in the spring, and we made a few tweaks to it because I wasn't totally happy with it, honestly, in the spring. And we showed up yesterday, and we were awful. I was like, oh, no, what did we do? And they went to work last night and came up with a lot of changes to make to the car, and it was so hooked up today. It would just do everything I wanted it to. So, man, this is such a special place. This is by far my favorite racetrack, and I'm just so thankful. Thankful to Coach, everybody at Toyota. Thank you to He Gets Us. Thank you, God. There's so much more to it than just me and this race team. I'm just so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity with so many great partners. Go Bowling. I hate that they've been a partner of mine for so long and we haven't got them to victory lane, but just so thankful. Thankful to everybody at TRD, Toyota. Our GR Supra was faster than the Xfinity Internet today. And just what an amazing race car. Just so proud. So proud. And we're going to go race for an Owners Championship in Phoenix.
Congratulations and good luck. Kim Kuhn.
Cole Custer transfers to the championship 4, but the bigger headline, the altercation between you and Chandler Smith on pit road. I heard you say what goes around comes around. What did Chandler say to you?
I mean, obviously he's not happy, but at the end of the day, he's put us in the wall a few times this year, and his mistakes caught up with him.
He used the bumper on me. I used the bumper on him. So what comes around goes around in this deal. I'm so proud of this team. I mean, we brought out everything we had today. Kept us in the fight, but JT and all the guys just did a great job all year, maximizing everything we had. So just can't thank Gene Haas, everybody at Haas Automation for performance. Can't wait to go to Phoenix now and see what we can do.
Chandler's made it very clear that he does not care what happens because he doesn't know what his future is. After the altercation today, are you worried retribution might come at Phoenix next weekend as you run for a championship?
I mean, it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, he put us in the wall a few times this year. He kept us from winning a race, I feel like, at Kansas. And he used the bumper on me. I used the bumper on him. I don't know how we're not even. And then he punched me in the face. I can't even tell if he really punched me in the face or so soft. But at the end of the day, it was we'll go on to Phoenix.
All right, Cole Custer calls it even. Marty, what does Chandler Smith think?
Let's chat with Chandler. So you got out of the car immediately. You were upset on the radio with how Cole Custer raced you on that one restart. What did you want to say to him when you went up to him, and were you planning to throw a punch?
I was planning to do a lot more than that, to be completely frank with you. I was extremely pissed off. I gave him 5 laps before that caution came out and beat his bumper off and never shipped him or anything like that. Then finally it's like, all right, the laps are winding down. I'm in a must win. The 20's starting to drive away. He was really good all day. I can't waste any more time with him. So I finally had a good enough run and pushed him up the racetrack and went on our way. But I gave him a chance for 5 laps before that, right? Well, I think he was the first guy all day that chose the outside lane from 3rd place, so that's very interesting. And then he didn't even give me a chance to make the corner when we got to turn 1. And funny enough, the restart right after that, picked right behind me again. How ironic is that? It is what it is. Super, super proud of everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing. We had a really, really fast number 81 Quick Type Prodigy GR Supra, and I'm very passionate about this. I love this group. This group deserves to be in Phoenix and deserves to go out and contend for a championship. Just with how the playoff format is and whatnot, we were in a must-win situation tonight, and those are the cards that were dealt, and we're not going to go and race for a championship, and that's okay. We're going to go to Phoenix, or we're going to go try to kick their ass there.
So this is the first time with you and Cole Custer this year. He just said earlier that he feels like you took the win away from him at Kansas. You guys had words after that race. He said he feels like everything is even now. What do you think?
I think he's going to blow his doors off after 5 laps in that race, honestly. Go back and look, the 20 was the best car that entire race. He was even better than me, better than the 00. At the end of the day, I didn't even know what he was mad about at Kansas until I went back, talked to him. I was like, what were you mad about? And seeing what happened, I was like, okay, that's my bad. You can go back and listen to the spotters footage. He said clear, never knew you were outside. It's on me. And his thing was, well, you have a mirror and all that. I was like, that's great. I'm just letting you know what the situation was. So he can think we're even and all, but he's the one that's got more stakes than I do next weekend as well. So
there you go. Chandler Smith obviously not letting this one go either, Rick. And I think this is to be continued next weekend as Cole Custer races for a championship. How will Chandler Smith race him?
Yeah, we're going to have to keep our eye on these two.
All right, so it sounds like Christian Eckes and Cole Custer will not be winning the championships next weekend in Phoenix. Oh, geez. Again, drivers standing side of things, Custer, Allgaier, Allmendinger, and Austin Hill in the championship 4. And as far as the owner standings, it'll be the 20 team, the 21, the 16, and the 7 making it in. So the 20 over the 00 for the owner standings. Went through the finishing order of this one. Other drivers to lead laps today other than the 150 laps led today for Eric Almirola. 34 laps led for Chandler Smith, who finishes 3rd tonight, led 2 different times. Cole Custer, who finishes in 6th place. 4th place, rather. He got to 4th on the last restart. So 17 laps led for Custer, 13 for Sheldon Crate, 13 for Ryan Sieg, 3 for Kyle Sieg under a caution period, and the 20 laps led at the start of the race for Parker Retzlaff from the pole. And those were the 7 drivers who led at least 1 lap in the race today. And we ended up having 13 lead changes total with those 7 different leaders, 13 cautions, but we did finish this race under a 13-lap green flag run to the checker. And that finishes things off here in this one. Again, 58.84 mile per hour average race speed, 2 hours, 11 minutes, 30 seconds total time on the race. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's live commentary coverage of the National Debt Relief 250 at the Martinsville Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We'll be live again tomorrow afternoon for the Cup Series main event race this weekend, the Xfinity 500. that will begin at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with the race. Our live commentary coverage will go live, though, a half hour before that at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, as we will have pre-race predictions and much more on the pre-race show. We'll highlight the Fantasy League with 2 weeks left to go there on the fantasy side of things, and hope to see you for that race. Tempers flaring 2 days in a row. Can we make it 3 for 3 tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good rest of your Saturday night. And I don't know what the damage is with Michigan playing Oregon right now, #1 team in the country. Hopefully they're winning. They're probably getting stomped on, but I'm going to finish out the rest of that one. So go Blue, needless to say as well. See you guys tomorrow, everybody.